Okay.
Does anyone have their card flipper open at the moment?
I do.
Okay. Did you see the cards that I'm flipping?
Let me open that. Whoops.
I think the server is down.
It's down because it doesn't show dice or anything like that.
All right, so everyone in the game, Greg Squires, let me give you control of your character. I forgot to do that. Suddenly, Greg's character has disappeared. Did you have your character open at one time, Greg, or were you updating in some way, or Greg Squires?
Sorry, what was that?
Did you have your character open, or it suddenly disappeared from the portrait bar? Let me give you control of it.
What type of dice roll are we going to have to do?
A D8, 2D8, and 3D8 are the dice rolls of the game.
Okay.
I haven't touched anything. I'm actually just waiting for things to load right now.
We're back. Did I give everyone control of the character? Would need control of the character. Good. Okay.
I do have control of my character. I'm going to be a pragmatist.
Okay. Looks like we're going to have lots of zealots and lots of pragmatists. We'll find out if that works for us all. So you're just going to, once again, you're going to ask yourself 3 questions. A, I protect the innocent. Is self-sacrifice necessary for the greater good? That's a yes or no question. B, I slay demons. Does the end justify the means? That is a yes or no question. C, I stay alive to fight another day. Not just because you're a coward, but you know that if you die, everything you know about demons dies with you. Must we keep from becoming evil ourselves? At what cost do we kill evil? So once you answer those 3 questions, A, B, and C, you will order those questions by priority, and you will put yourself in either an ABC paladin position or a CBA profiteer position. There is no right or wrong answer with any of this. Each one of them has their own set of swaggering that they will acquire during the game. Any questions from anyone in our peanut gallery?
Yep. Where are those questions that we're asking? Are they up on Epic Table right now?
Yeah, I just put them in the chat, Greg. You see them?
In chat. No, I have no chat yet. I have something from Goody Moradin, who's a lawman, apparently. That's the first thing I see in chat.
Let me post those 3 questions again. Do you see those, Greg?
Not yet. Let's give it a minute because I'm trying to load the other.
Yeah, why don't we get you fully loaded in the game and then we'll have those. But again, I can just read them off again. Protect the innocent, slay demons, or stay alive. Which of those 3 do you think is your most important aspect of your character?
I will say protect innocence.
Okay. Sure, A. And then under that, would you rather slay demons or stay alive?
Stay alive.
Okay, so you're an ACB. An ACB is going to be a lawman. Like Laura's character.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully that's the chat is gonna come up for you. I know you have trouble with the chat, Greg. Are you actually playing in a window, or are you playing with it full screen, enlarged?
Full screen.
Full screen, yeah.
Yeah, full screen.
You might toggle back and forth and see if that actually makes your chat come back in straight. But once we've done that, everyone has chosen their tact in the game, correct? I'll refer to that constantly. That word may change, but right now that is the word I'm going with. It's short for tactics. It's short for, just in general what the word means. Now, if you go over to the weaponry page, and Rusty has, I guess that's your make roll, a huge number. If you go over to this divine weaponry of the Demon Hunter page for a second, you will see that my character, Billy Bass is a zealot, but Billy Bass also has 2 items that he's taking with him in the game. He is taking with him a bandana, scarf, and sash, and a keen knife. So if you all would choose a color of a disc or a rock that I stuck up there, and you'll notice that you can always hit Control D, and you can make lots of copies of your rock if you need to. So feel free to make as many copies of your rock as you need to. And you may grab, at your decision, on the accoutrement, you may grab 1, 2, 20 of them. You can put them wherever you want, and there's no need to double up. If you have a silver flask of rum, you have a silver flask of rum. We tend to have more of a literary style where we don't turn it into an equipment list as more as an element of your character. Does your character fight with a garrote? Does your character like to have a blunderbuss? Does your character fight with a keen knife? Now, does that mean that I'm going to get in a combat situation, my guy, where it looks like I relatively have nothing? Does that mean I'm not going to be able to fight with a sword, or fight with a rifle, or fight with a cannon if one is available? It does not. Your gear that will appear in battle can be anything, but these are things that can get you 3-die advantage. So by the fact that I'm not selecting a blunderbuss or a garrote or a whip, and not trying to be more Indiana Jones with my character, means that if the advantage for my action in the Q&D is something like sturdy boots, if I do not have sturdy boots, if I'm wearing either my buckle shoes or my bare feet, then I would not gain the 3 dice for advantage. Now, you might ask yourself, knowing how to play these freestyle games, why you wouldn't want to take all 20. Does anyone have that question?
Because it affects your dice.
There's always the guy that's the know-it-all, isn't there? Yes.
Hey, you send out a thing that says you don't have to read these rules, and now I'm going to read them.
So the more possessions you have, the more likely you're going to suffer hysteria. The game is a game of demons, and demons are not real. So if you trust in a pocket watch to tell you the time, and the demon is messing with your perceptions of time, that's going to just drive you even more mad. If you rely on a snuff box to comfort you, or just as your daily wake-up call, if the demons decide to mess with you, they could go right into your snuff box. So the more gear you have, the more likely you're going to see Casper the not-so-friendly ghost. Does that make sense? Or at least is that understood? So if you pick 10 of those items, you're probably all right. I'm mostly grabbing 2 for both a character description. I just want to be the pirate guy who's barely clad. I got my breeches, my bright scarf, and my knife. I'm the guy that usually climbs up the mast with knife and teeth and gets kicked off by, the kid in Treasure Island. I'm just an extra to some degree. If you want to grab all 20 and just test to see if that's a good choice, all power to you. And somebody has created a notepad for us, so whoever did that, I'm going to delete it. Unless somebody had a notion to record something.
Might be a good place to put our grouping nobles.
Who have what colors, if it matters? I guess not.
I follow what you were doing. If for instance, you can become confused by the fact that the red stone, this brighter orange stone, is different than the red stone. You can make it a little bigger if you wish, or somebody is deciding that they're going to put their character portrait down on the space. That works too. You can always put your character portrait down there. I'm only using these stones because they seem to work reasonably well in Dungeons and Dragons when we played it. And again, I didn't want to make any sort of elaborate sort of tool and aid yet. So please take the next minute or so and pick your gear, so to speak. Now, this is a different philosophy than normal in freestyle play, where I discourage vehemently anyone who's connected to their equipment list. Once again, if you do not have the garish hat, it just means you probably have a normal-looking hat. If you do not have a silk kerchief, you may have just a cotton handkerchief. If you do not carry a whip, you probably do not carry a whip. I doubt that you're carrying a swagger stick or a hunk of rope with you. But if the combat table says that you have used your hunk of rope, advantage whip, and you do not have a whip, you do not get the 3 dice advantage. It doesn't mean that because you do not have a whip, you will not roll the dice for it. Now, somebody has already added the fact that they picked up a tartan kilt and a nun's gold cross. And whoever did that is cheating. So those are essentially magic items in the game, and those will only come and go as the game says you own them. So hands off, whoever is blue with the white slash. You want to pick accoutrement. I can sell you sturdy boots. I cannot sell you a Swiss poleaxe that was killing demons, or a canine companion who was more of a ghost dog. I can't even sell you that narcotic analgesic because the guy just would not have it behind the counter. And following up on that, the blue on the page are the instruments. These are all divine weaponry. So the snuff box could be just as important as the rude fetish. If you were in battle and the advantage says you need a rude fetish, if you have the rude fetish, you will be able to roll advantage dice. More so, as some of you might remember from playing the superhero game, some of those can result in instant wounds to the enemy. So it might just say that you have the advantage of the tartan kilt, and if the tartan kilt is anywhere in the party, you might have just dropped the target number by 1. But I don't want to go too much into all of the minutiae of this. Mostly, I'm just looking for people to decide whether or not they would have a trusty rapier that was inherited from their father, that they would like to have a shotgun in the game, the blunderbuss, that they have invested some money to get some reflective lenses, rose-colored spectacles, because they've been on ship long enough to know that the sun can get pretty brutal on the eyes, or if they travel in the Arctic. Anyone who's done with that divine weaponry can flip over to the campaign map page, and you'll see that we have a situation here where there are about 10 different places in the world that you guys can go and visit. I'll give you another 5 or 10 seconds to decide on your weaponry, and over the course of the next 15 minutes while I'm explaining what we're doing in our scenario, you can continue to upgrade your characters and pick out your items. As I said, there's nothing wrong with just deciding that everyone is going to take everything. So, and I go over again to the campaign map, and when you're ready, go over to that. So there are 10 different areas of the world that demons are known to exist, from the Caribbean over to the fragrant harbors of the East. The demons could be all the way up in the Arctic Circle or down into the lower 40, where the planet has this unique quality that there is no landmass to stop the waves, and they can grow up to 100 feet tall, which could certainly capsize your ship if you got a water sprite or some unnatural creature behind them. You're going to start your mission, and you're going to then start to sail around the world looking towards your objective. You're going to eliminate certain places in the world that will not be places that you'll find, or I should say you're going to discover that certain places in the world are not your friend. Conrad, if you're in Skype, I think we need a reset of the Cardo flipper.
I already did.
It's showing, it's actually showing pink to me.
You might have to restart
Close it and
it.
reopen it, yeah.
Yeah, let me launch it again. Ah, there we go. We're green again. We love that. Thank you.
All right, Red, I think I'm fully loaded now. Could you, I'm going to start picking my equipment. Could you post the questions in the chat one more time, just because I'd like to see them?
Sure. You go. Did you see those, Greg?
Yes.
Terrific.
Okay,
Now, Conrad, I'll at the sake of ad nauseum, you're essentially going to pick the 3 questions that are in the chat. You're going to, these questions 3, not 5. You're going to decide whether or not your main goal is to protect the innocent, slay demons, stay alive. Very similar to the group goals that were in where Fools Dare to Tread. And then from that, you're going to generate a character, whether you're a paladin or a pragmatist, a profiteer or a zealot. We have a lot of zealots in the group, and a few pragmatists. And then after you do that, Conrad, you'll flip over to the weaponry tab. And the first column, accoutrement, there are 20 of those. You may pick all 20 if you wish. You may pick just one of those. You may pick none of them. At your leisure, load yourself up with gear. Mike, did you take the portable writer's desk? Shame on you that you didn't, because your character is always that sort of character, and why you would forego it now, simply because you're worried about hysteria. All right. No letters home for you, son. And then on the campaign map, we have 10 different areas. Let me go over to the actual mission. So your patron is Sir Richard Hartfleet. And he explains your task over fine wine and rolled cigars. The room seems colder as he speaks. Everyone trying to make a secrecy roll. What? So, depending upon what you picked as your tact, it will give you your actual game actions in the game. There's a master chart of the for demon hunters. And depending upon if you're paladin, lawman, zealot, pragmatist, observer, and profiteer, certain roles will appear or not appear. Let me try this handout, see if this works for us. This will be a new territory for me. And see if we can.
Don't we all have to roll our make rolls first to determine how hard? that,
D8 make
roll
rolls.
is?
Absolutely. Thank you, Tony. He's another person that reads ahead. And
Woohoo! 8. That's probably bad.
This means that you have hard dice roll.
Hard rolls. Yep.
Oh
One.
my gosh. I got 8 too.
did anyone actually? Does everyone actually, I should say, see that master chart, or how do I share that? Do you know how you share handouts, Conrad? Do I click on them
I
and
should
share?
be right mouse click on and share. Make 'em
Yeah, I
public.
don't see that as a. Let me see if I can right mouse click on the share right there and then bring it down. Did that get shared with everyone? It may take a minute. Oh, look at that!
I saw
Yeah,
skill. Yes.
Wow. I see. Mike rolled a. Let me roll
2.
mine. My make rolls. Everyone gets a D8 make rolls, and I've got 3. 3 is a great number of make rolls.
I have 1, of course. Let's see where I'm just asking.
And let me add another handout here that we can sort of.
1 is good, Greg.
So profiteer is a great one.
Task resolution and click and share that. Ah, look at that. And then I also generated this guy here. Hopefully he appears in play as shared, and he does. You can see that. So let's all make our first roll of the game, simply because it's nice to get people in the habit of rolling. So on a secrecy roll, you can actually review this rich man's money and items and see if there's anything that's suspicious about it. So you will take your tact. For instance, I'm a zealot, and I'm making an investigation secrecy roll. I need to make a tasking roll. And I can look and I can say, I have 3 make rolls. My tasking result is a 9. I would roll 2 dice looking for a 9. And I have rolled, and I have successfully investigated this man. Anyone else?
I make rolled it.
You're going to waste a make roll, Rusty. To
I
bring the
have
numbers down
8.
again.
I have 8. I want to get
Right.
that
7
lower.
now.
Yep, 7 now.
Let me think. What are we? Sorry. What is this?
Secrecy.
Command action, persuasion, secrecy. Thank you. Tasking. I succeeded. No, I
Okay.
didn't. Failed.
Oh, I failed, but not by much. Just because we have any bosses going.
I failed.
And I'm
Looks
going
like
to close
Tasha
those.
made
I'm going to
it.
close those handouts on my page for a moment, and if you wish to keep them open on yours, that would be fine. Since you guys are seeing the rolls, I closed them on mine, and I noticed they did not close on a player machine. So you guys can actually keep those open on your desktop for as long as you want them. Correct?
Looks like.
That's actually functional for once, so I like that. And but now anyone who made their roll has to take an extra accoutrement, and this is something we stole from our patron. We just compulsively did it. We have no choice. So I compulsively took his a purse of coins. Greedy man I am.
Is this if we made the roll or if we failed the roll?
If you made the roll.
Oh, okay.
Making rolls is never good, or sometimes it is good. I don't know.
Teach you for not taking enough accoutrement. So if you made your roll, go ahead and go over to the equipment list here and add something else. And he says, greetings, I have been studying shapeshifters and came across a subset of the monstyr. There are many cases cited where Animal heads are grafted onto human torso. In Tibet, a hybrid was captured whose head had jowls like a large boar. That could be your jumping off point. Indus has an elephant-headed deity. Could this be a demon in disguise? I have this letter from my associate in Siberia. He was slain a beast with human arms and legs, yet a tiger head and fur. He concludes he killed the thing and was changing firm. Go forth boldly with God and bring evidence these violations of his image. So you're going to go and sail around the world and try to find where shapeshifters live. That doesn't sound like the best of ideas, but hey, how many are zealots? You don't have a choice. Heartfelt, a Catholic, crosses himself as he says this. A vessel waits in Boston Harbor, the Gull Flight. The Captain Ramsey will voyage anywhere. Do not reveal to him too many exact motives. I trust him, but find his smell suspect. You can let yourselves out and make the night 3:30 or high tide. All right, so your boss is kicking you out. And... oh, one person in the party. Who's our party leader?
How about
Volunteers?
Tony?
How about not me? Whoever
I vote Mike.
I'm a profiteer. Whoever the paladin is.
Do we have a paladin? How about if we do that? We'll go through order. Who's our paladin? Any paladins in the group? Of course not. Any lawmen in the group?
I'm a
I
lawman.
apparently am a lawman.
Greg Squires, you get handed a pocket watch. Apparently, you're the person who's our leader.
I had my mic off. I'm a paladin.
Is that Tasha?
Yeah.
Tasha, I thought you were playing a zealot. Tasha, you are the party leader, and you will be on the spot. Welcome, welcome for your first time being on the spot. And you are given a pocket watch by Lord Heartfleet.
I've got two.
If you have two, you don't get two. Essentially, you take his pocket watch, and then at first opportunity you lay it aside and keep your own, because your own has sentimental value to you. So you do not ever double up on these items.
Okay. Yes.
You could end up losing your items, but you won't. I could technically say instead of giving you a pocket watch, he takes your own pocket watch, but we won't add the grifter element to all this insanity yet. Everyone has rolled their make rolls. Everyone understands the mission. You're just going to sail around the world looking for evidence of shapeshifters. So, Tasha, you are in Boston Harbor, and you are on the campaign map. You see that, right?
I do.
Would you like to sail or trundle into the primeval forests that are right next to you? Did you want to go into the Voodoo Caribbean? Did you want to sail to the lands of Mummery? Would you like to sail to Slavic Europe? Where would you like to sail?
Oh, I think
Notice
we'll
I did not omit anything just because I want you to keep it out of it.
I think we'll go up the Hudson into the Forest Primeval.
Okay, very good. Go ahead and grab that ship and move it over to the Forest Primeval. And I am going to we wrecked. We landed ashore. No, oh yeah, there you go. That's Hudson Bay. I've been ribbing Mike unceasingly, and I should probably stop that. But you probably will feel my wrath. Here comes the actual game mechanics. Campaign travel. I'm flipping a card, and I flipped a 9. So when you get there. It is exercise and drill. What a beautiful start. I like our leader already. Exercise and drill. How about if each member of the party gains a random swaggering on an ordinary roll? If this event generates a duplicate, it can lock as glorious. But how about if we all go around the table? Go ahead and make your rolls. An ordinary roll, you know the ordinary roll. It depends on how many make rolls you have. For me, an ordinary roll is a 4. I should be pretty much guaranteed one.
Yeah, one.
I am. And I'm going to pick up a swaggering.
I pick up a swaggering too.
Me too.
Now.
And if you would please, why don't you roll me a D20 after that for your random swaggering? I lied, Rusty. There are D20s in the game if you're going to go ahead and fully generate this. I think I got a random swaggering one. Mine would be a 13. And I'm going to go to the swaggering table. If you actually have a copy of the rules, you can play along at home. If you don't, I will tell you what you picked up. A 13 for me is, I got to count it down, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should number these. 11, 12, 13. Oh, if I couldn't have gotten a better swaggering to start this game. My guy is religiously inspired. M. All right, let me go through them. Rusty, you rolled a 19. Is that correct?
Yes,
And you're playing a pragmatist. Is that correct?
that's right.
All right, the pragmatist has the duelist skill, and 19 would give you uncontested dagger thrust. And that would be one of the first mistakes I see in my text. That should be an S. Uncontested dagger thrust for Rusty. And who was my second roller? Conrad, what did you roll? Did Conrad make his ordinary roll? 17. Conrad, what type of character are you playing?
I am a pragmatist.
A pragmatist, so very much like Rusty. But your 17 gave you a raw speed Q. And Laura, did you make your roll?
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
And you are playing. What tactive character are you playing, Laura?
Lawman.
Once more and louder.
Lawman.
Lawman. We love lawman. A lawman, and you rolled a 20 die? Wow, that kid's got lungs. I think I lost Laura for the second.
You rolled a 6. It should be gladiatorial.
Gladiatorial, terrific. Thank you, Mike. Mike, did you roll or did you roll?
I'm a lawman. I made my roll. I rolled a 10. I believe that is heroic act.
Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is heroic acts. Tasha, did you make your roll?
I did. I rolled a 9, which I think is feigns.
Okay, pick it up. Terrific. And Greg Morrison, what type of character are you playing?
I am playing a pragmatist. I made my roll and got a 15.
15. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You have the ability to understand desires. Oh, what's there to understand? And who am I leave off with? How about
me.
Tony?
Yep. Okay. So I actually succeed,
Okay.
and I rolled a 7 as a rogue, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that KO punch?
That KO punch for your rogue is G. And finally, I go over to Greg Squires. Did you make your roll?
I made the roll and rolled a 7. I'm a lawman.
A lawman 7.
Disarming strikes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Disarming strikes is correct. And notice that we had a couple of people roll G's, 7s, yet one got one swaggering and one got another. So if you change tax, you only get to keep the tax that you would have in common with your new archetype, your new character.
Unless something is locked as glorious.
Unless something is locked as glorious. That is correct. So you'll notice that certain people are symbiotic in their relationships. The paladin and lawman, they share a number. I think it's 10. It might even be 12, swaggering. So if you switch from paladin to lawman, you essentially could be keeping many of your swaggering, but you're also losing the ones that are unique to your class. So that was the first encounter. We go to the Forest Primeval, and you certainly could stay here and explore more because you have not gained any sort of clue yet, Tasha, or you can decide to sail elsewhere.
Shapeshifters are going to be more with civilizations, I would think.
That is an incredible leap of faith.
Well, I think
probably true.
Let's head south to the Voodoo Caribbean.
Okay. Voodoo Caribbean. Let me flip a card for that. How about another 9? Wow. How lucky can we be? 2 9s in a row. Let's start off with, and this is just amazing, 2 9s in a row, all of us rolling again to pick up a random swaggering. And I rolled my 9 random swaggering. I rolled my 20 for my result as a 12. Those who actually have the game booklet in front of them, the beta rolls, go ahead and look up your own. And those who need the answer, I will tell you at your leisure.
If I roll the same swaggering again, I get to lock it as glorious?
You most certainly do.
And
I'm gloriously heroic.
Is this a difficult roll?
It is a ordinary roll.
Oh, ordinary. Okay, great.
Red, where can I find a copy of the rules?
I will send you one.
I'll send it to him while you manage.
That would be very nice, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you,
and,
Mike.
Greg Morrison might need one as well.
Does anybody else need one?
It's good to play with you both. I was not cheating you. I just was being more of a pragmatist myself, thinking, I don't see
Greg
Greg.
Squires.
Greg
Does
never
anybody else
shows
need a
up to
copy of the rules? Greg Morrison? Both Gregs?
Yeah, both Gregs.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Yes.
Everybody named Greg.
Everyone
Anybody
named
else?
Greg and everyone named Squires and Morrison. So
Anybody else?
I picked up Expectorate. I think that's it of the people that are playing, Mike. And I picked up Expectorate. I'm a great spitter. And is there anyone else who needs me to help them find their swaggering that they rolled?
A 2 for a pragmatist.
Got it, Rusty. Okay, so you are a duelist, and a 2 for pragmatist is Steely Nerves B.
And hang on. Let me see. What did I roll? I left it in the chat here.
And Greg Morrison and Greg Squires. Let me know again.
I rolled a 2 as well for pragmatist.
So you picked up Steely Nerves, and Greg Squires, you picked up?
I rolled a 20 for lawman.
20 for Lawman. It's got to be something great. How about wrestling holes for you?
Okay.
Some of you may note some of these are very much like Crimson Cutlass's swaggering. I wonder why. Tasha, so far, a beautiful job running the party. Forest
Thank you.
Primeval and Voodoo Caribbean, they both have just resulted in us waiting around on deck and training with our arms. Where would you like to go to next, or stay in the same place?
I think I'm going to stay in the Voodoo Caribbean.
Okay. And we got ourselves a 3, but this time it's a Bane.
We love Banes.
It's gonna have to come sometime. I mean, I can't be lucky forever, can we? Okay, campaign travel, a 3 Bane. How bad can it be? It says here that it is a add a mandatory delivery task to the party. Okay, so the captain of the ship says, it's been all fun and games, but I picked up a great cargo in the Caribbean, and I would like to take it over to Slavic Europe. So that'll be the next stop in this adventure. And also, we now suspect somebody in the quest. So, who Tasha, do you suspect of the players? You see them arrayed at the top there. Just pick one. If you want to be diplomatic, you should pick my character, Billy Bass, because nobody's going to cry if I become scapegoat. If you want to be mean, pick Mike.
I would always suspect Mike, but I'll suspect Billy Red.
Yeah, okay. Billy Red is now the scapegoat of the party. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, you did encourage that.
Yeah, you kind of asked for it.
Of course, I encourage that until it means I could die. Everyone hates me suddenly. Well, no, not everyone hates me. I should say, Tasha, your character is the first to cast doubt on Billy Bass. If the whole party eventually gathers doubt on a single character, that character is thrown out and the player loses his ability to play that character forever.
Oy.
Okay. I feel sad. Okay, here comes the next encounter. We're on our way to Slavic Europe. I'll let you be the caretaker of the back and forth.
Red, as a minor note, as I'm going through the rules, I'm seeing you are inconsistently labeling the lawman swaggering. In some places you have it listed as swagger firearms, and in some places you have it listed as swaggering marksman.
Yeah, I'll make a note of that and I'll correct it. I think what it was is originally I had it one or the other.
For what it's worth, I like marksman better than firearms.
I think it changed to marksman because it was more generic. Okay, I was originally just pitching that one guy was going to be the club man, and another guy was going to be the sword man. I realized it's tougher to write Q&Ds that way, but that's, just game design 101 behind the scenes. All right, here comes the Slavic Europe flip. And suddenly my Cardo flipper has gone crazy on me. Did I flip too many? Let me look. Yes, I flipped the moon. The moon card. We hate the moon card. Actually, this time we don't hate the moon card. Tasha, we have toggled instrument number 37. And I go over to the weaponry page, and if you would please put your marker next to smelling salts, number 37.
Got it.
And in the instruments as opposed to on the text. Thank you.
And so now when I go into that, I can look and I can go instrument number 37, smelling salts, and I will post it in the chat as I read it out. And it says that is a strong ammonia vapors to wake those who would lollygag or fall from cudgel. It has the mystic ward of smell. So mystic ward of smell, when I read the definition of that, if the monster insults smell and causes any character to become hypersensitive, as in can be killed by a demonic smell, this could grant immunity from that attack, that action, and it can only be used once. So we'll cancel a character's vulnerability to a demon's insult of smell, so that each of the demons has a potential of insulting 3 different senses of the person. Another mechanic of the game. The second flip I got was the Pope card. And we love the fact that all these are coming out early rather than in combat. And the Pope card says that we're going to toggle 25. Scrimshaw Whaletooth. And Tasha, we don't want to make you the only person that has the burden of carrying these. So assign somebody and give them the Scrimshaw Whale's Tooth.
How about Morrison? Why don't you carry the Scrimshaw Whale's
Greg
Tooth?
Morrison, you are the keeper of the Scrimshaw Whale Tooth. And when you acquire this item, Greg, you realize by handling it that the patterns seem to have a new small details every time you examine it when you squint a certain way. That sounds pretty suspect to me, but I'm a zealot. I'd probably believe it. And it is Mystic Fortune from that. The Mystic Fortune from that means that activation gives anyone 3 chances to make a single dice roll. This power can be activated after the first roll has failed. So you get 2 more chances to make a roll that's really critical. Alternately, the instrument may be activated at the start of a battle, and the holder rolls double dice for all his rolls in the event. So you have the Mystic Fortune Whale's Tooth at the moment, Greg. And Mr. Morrison. And we flip a card again, and 6. Finally, we get to an encounter in the lands of Slavic Europe. And I look at the die here, 6 of swords. Is it a combat? Open warfare. Of course it's open warfare in Europe. It's always open warfare in Europe. So we're going to actually use some combat now. We're going to use Q&D evasion. Thank you to Mike and Conrad who set this up in the chat. And as I always start, I start with my brother Rusty. Everyone has to obtain their own escape. Greg, you remember how miserable, Greg Squires, remember how miserable this is? Yeah, hopefully it'll be a little bit better than that this time. Go ahead and here comes your event, Rusty, and it is a King of Rod's Bane.
Oh, I love those.
Under evasion.
Hit me with that Bane.
And we've
Sorry.
What
was the card again?
King of Rod's Bane.
Conrad got it.
Resist the compulsion, self-pity for your plight, an urge to be angry at your friends. Fail, and the next player to act in evasion becomes shaken. That means if you react here alone. Regardless, character develops a vulnerability facing demons that insult touch. Well, that's not good.
And you should mark that on your character sheet, Rusty.
All right. And then difficulty 7, advantage tack zealot.
Hey, that's me.
Yes. Well, that doesn't help me, right?
No. But it helps me.
I failed.
You failed. Oh, who's the next character act? Conrad. Conrad is shaken. Conrad is -2 on his rolls. Wow.
Sorry, Conrad.
This could get ugly really quick. I forgot that we have ordinary rollers in our game. Conrad, how about if I give you the High Priestess card?
Inverted.
Inverted, yes, you're reading it for me as well. When I go to the Major Tarot, High Priestess Inverted, it says, yes, toggle accoutrement. No, toggle instrument 22. Conrad, you have picked up instrument 22. You have the Irishman's rabbit foot.
I would not trust it.
You most certainly would trust it. It's been given to you by God. Okay, and it is a totem easily held and added to a pistol butt, which strangely comforts you, and it'll give the mystic catbird. So if you activate that, you get the catbird seat. Seems like something you should use and then let it go back into the cosmos, and the only exception is the fact that you cannot use the catbird seat if you begin the game surprised and overwhelmed. But it grants the holder a perceived dangerous nature. Activate any battle after discovery. Your first roll is +3, and it seems rather minor, but who knows? +3 can be very helpful. Here comes your next card. How about a 9 of Swords Bane on their evasion?
My third favorite choice. There we go. Does that look correct?
I'm not on the page, so we'll trust we'll trust it. I'll spot check it as we move along.
9 inverted evasion. Claw away a fetid blemish or tear into an old scar. Exhausted and feeling terrorized. Fail and suffer a vicious wound. Regardless, lose half your remaining make rolls. Regardless, character develops a vulnerability facing demons that insult smell. Difficulty 7. Advantage accoutrement 11. Accoutrement 11. I do not have accoutrement 11, so I'm looking for a 7 +2 because I'm shaken. Correct?
That's correct.
I'm looking for a 9, or I take a vicious wound. I'm going to use the catbird seat.
Why not?
And so I'm going to roll 2 dice and looking for a 6. And I have failed.
Okay, so it would be up by 2 and down by 3. So yeah, it would be a 6. And you have failed. You have taken a vicious wound, but even besides that, you lost half your make rolls, and you picked up a vulnerability faces demons that insult smell. That result will probably change in the Q&D because I tend not to put 2 regardlesses in one thing. The lose your half your make rolls may move up to the 9 evasion unflipped. But we move on. You are still in the battle. So is Rusty. Gosh, could I kill the whole party in the first battle? Mike might be right. I have to kill half the party. Laura, how about a 6 Bane for you under evasion?
6 Bane. There we
go. Take heed and give warning or impending harm. Fail, and next player to act in evasion suffers vicious. That means if you react here alone. Regardless, character develops a vulnerability facing demons that insult taste.
This would be a good time to use one of those make rolls.
11, advantage attack.
She did start with 8.
Yeah. I think I will go ahead and just use my make roll.
Especially against the difficulty 11.
Yeah, and she's going to do it because it's going to make her rolls easier, and it just happens to benefit me.
Pick up that swagger, right?
And the swagger is raw speed.
Now,
here's the deal, Laura. What tact are you again?
Oh, okay. I'm lawman, so.
Lawman. Can lawmen actually pick up raw speed Q? No, I think lawmen need to understand design. Need to be bounding Q, not.
Correct.
They are bound. There's a little mistakes in here with the result S's being swapped with Q's that I'm correcting in my actual text. For instance, fastidious harms is actually an S, not a Q. Okay, so we go on to Laura's character has missed that result. No, she made that result. So she does not have the vulnerability. No, she does have the vulnerability because it's automatic. And all you did was fail, and next player to act in evasion suffers vicious. You just saved Mike from a vicious wound. He talked you into that, didn't he?
It's Mike, very nice of her.
Mike, here comes your card. How about an 8?
It's not so much.
Not I had down to 7 make rolls.
Yeah, but that made your rolls better. That was a good time to. That was a perfect time.
7 still the same as 8.
Oh, well, then you need to burn another make roll to make the survive for family. Someone who loves you back in Boston. Someone named Laura, who is not Moradin, just Laura. Success to fully escape later to return to combat at Ruff's discretion, but fail and shaken. Double shaken test hysteria. Regardless, gain instrument 38 blessed missionary oil. Does anybody else have missionary oil? No, so I get that.
Difficulty pick that up, Mike.
Advantage instrument 27 rude fetish. I don't have that. I'll just go ahead and roll that. Right? There's nothing. Oh, fail and shaken. I'll go ahead and roll that. And I will fail that, so I will just be shaken.
You will be shaken, yes. And the instrument, the Blessed Missionary Oil, will give Mystic Fury, is it? Mystic, no, Mystic Fortune. Well, that's another good one. Mystic Fortune is like what Greg has. That is the ability to get 3 chances on the roll or gain double rolls for the rest of the battle. So I go on to Tasha. Tasha gets a card 5. Is anyone going to get out of this battle? Or is this absolutely hopeless from the very beginning? We had no business hunting demons.
5 straight up, right?
Yep, 5 straight up.
Oh, sorry, I thought I had pasted that.
Here we go. Mop up a mess of your own. Accidental spilt blood. Happens. Success to fully escape. Later, return to combat at ref's discretion, but fail and test hysteria. Regardless, gain instrument 25, Scrimshaw's Will's Tooth. If this was held by another person in the party, he loses that object to you. I gave it to him.
You took it right back from him because obviously it was unworthy.
No trade backs. Difficulty 11 advantage. Accoutrement silk kerchief. I don't have that.
Okay.
Heck, you know what? I've got 5 make rolls.
Takes a make roll, does not take the test of hysteria, but you picked up the Scrimshaw Whale's Tooth, which is divine fortune from mystic fortune, I should say, from Greg. So go ahead and mark that on the sheet so we know it's within the party. And I'm going to go on to the next. Tony, here comes your card. How about a 2 of Cups Bane? That won't get you out of battle.
Invasion to Bane.
Sure. Isn't Morrison supposed to be before me?
I'm sorry,
But,
Greg.
I'll
go
take
ahead.
it.
Greg,
Well,
you're going to pick up that. Thank you, Tony.
That Bane, huh?
Trying to help you out there, Morrison.
Either way,
The guy I am.
How about Shriek for relief, Greg?
He might be muted.
Maybe AFK. Did somebody notice if you went AFK on us? He's trying to give it back to you, Tony, by playing possum.
Oh, I see how it works. All right, that's fine. Shriek for relief, mercy and forgiveness, fail and shaken, -2. Double shaking is hysteria. Regardless if your character is the scapegoat, I'm not. A random character still in battle suffers doubt. Difficulty 13, advantage C, sympathy. Well, I don't have that, and I don't even know if I have sympathy available. I don't think I do. But
A 13, that's a tough roll.
that is a tough roll.
Somehow Morrison dropped off the call.
Oh, okay.
If you get a chance, Mike, could you try to add him again?
Sure.
Nope, I couldn't even get that if I tried. Okay, so, and if I fail, I'm shaken. All right, let's be shaken. Oh, so close.
Oh, so
All right.
close.
I'm shaken.
I was, if I'm quiet here, what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing the swaggering out of the game booklet. I'm putting it on my own character sheet, and then I'm going to star the ones I have to make it a little easier for me. If you guys are doing the same, let me know if that helps as well. For Mike and I were trying to discuss how the character sheet should be laid out, and I was saying to him that I think it might need to be 6 character sheets. He just swapped in and out. Okay, I have expectorate and I have religiously inspired.
Glorious.
And we go on to did Tony make that roll? He missed that roll.
Missed it.
Tony is shaken. We got half the party shaken. I don't care for this at all. Greg Squires, here comes your card. How about the Emperor card? That's going to give you something.
Sounds good. All right, Emperor. Toggle accoutrement 04. Let's see, 4, that's a silk handkerchief. So I lose my silk handkerchief.
No, the 4 is the portable writer's desk. For some reason, you're now carrying a portable writer's desk.
Excellent, what every lawman needs.
It's what every lawman needs. It must be some sort of demonic insanity causing that. Or Mike actually did admit that he likes to write home, and he's going to make you carry his writing desk for him.
All right.
There's more than one in the party, which I'm pleasantly surprised too. Thank you for your use of the post office. Here comes your actual card, Greg. How about 10 of rods? 10 evasion.
10, not a bane.
Excellent. Race to outdistance and outperform all. Success and ignore banes while taking actions on evasion. That's good. But fail and shaken. Double shaken test hysteria, difficulty 8, advantage bounding. I do not have bounding. So I guess I will just roll, and I need an 8 and 12. I made it. So I ignore Banes now.
You will ignore Banes going forward in evasion. That's nice. Now, a bounding Q you would have picked up, but your character is a lawman, and Q is not bounding. It is fastidious arms. So you do not pick the. Or I'm sorry, it is bounding. Yes, Greg, you picked up the swaggering bounding.
Are you sure? I'm looking at the table right now. I thought it was fastidious arms.
No, it's you notice the order
changed with every tact.
Yeah, it's also you notice the order that's actually in position S because I think I just had it mislabeled down the board. So I'm making an update here on some of my own. I'm editing as we speak. Your lawman will look like this.
All right. So it is bounding.
This is your lawman. So you picked up bounding Q, which is nice. And I go on to my card. It's about time I get to me. The devil. The devil hopefully gives me something, right?
Probably not.
Oh, I bet it does.
Oops.
Or did it take my knife away? Those mean, ugly people. Somebody got that, or do I need to grab it?
I'll do it. Which card again? Sorry.
Devil.
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 Non-bane.
I got it.
Accoutrement 14. Accoutrement 14 is a trusty rapier. Looks like I've decided that having a gosh, I got too many windows open. That having a favorite sword is something that I should have, and I've marked it on my sheet. I flip my next card, and I got the sun. The sun. The sun is always a great card. What is the sun in this case? It says gain any accoutrement of your choice and restore your health to no wounds. Optionally, player may instead elect to remove his own condition of suspect and scapegoat. He has redeemed himself in the eyes of others. Well, guess what?
No longer scapegoat.
It's inverted.
No, it's inverted. That's what I was about to say. Guess what? It is inverted. You're going to toggle a random instrument, D20 plus 20. If the selecting player's character is suspect, the present scapegoat, he must finger another player's character. All right, so toggle an instrument if the selecting, but it's also this. If the selecting player's character is suspect, the present scapegoat must finger another character. So I am not... If the selecting player character is the suspect, I am. And so I am the present scapegoat. So now I get to pass that baton to somebody. And I'm going to have to say that it has to go back to Greg Squires. You always hit the guy behind you in fan business. So, Greg, I apologize. But I get to toggle. Let me roll one of these things. Where's my D20? D20 plus 20, 23. I have the Nun's Gold Cross. Of course. Why wouldn't I have the Nun's Gold Cross? I was carrying it with me all along. I didn't take it from anyone. Why would you accuse me of taking it from anyone? And the Nun's Gold Cross, I will look that up at my leisure, but my actual card in the battle is a Knight of Coin's Bane. None of us are ever going to get out of this alive, are we? Knight of Coin's Bane. Tunnel vision, tumble, fumble, and fixate on minutia. Fail and next player to act, that would be Rusty. An evasion becomes pinned. That means that that would be me if I acted alone. Regardless, the character develops a vulnerability to the insult of sight. I'm liking this game less and less. I'm now scared of things that are ghastly to look at. Okay.
Yeah, one person has escaped.
Did somebody finally escape?
I did.
Yeah, one person did.
We love that. Okay, I did not escape. Too many Banes. Not allowing escape. Fail, next player in evasion. I did not fail, Rusty, so it's back to you, and I did not cause any wound to you. How about a 5 to you, Rusty?
What? No Bane?
Rusty
No
might
Bane.
escape on a 5.
Oh my gosh.
He might escape on a 5.
Mop up a mess of your own accidentally spilled blood. Success to fully escape. Later, return to combat at ref's discretion, but fail on test hysteria. Regardless, gain instrument 25. I got the whale tooth back.
Oh.
And if this was held by another person in the party, he loses the object. She loses this object. No trade backs. Difficulty 11. Oh, you don't have to worry. Was that a regardless? No.
It is a regardless.
Oh, regardless. Okay. The
demon keeps knocking it out of people's
Accoutrement,
hands.
silk scarf. I have a silk scarf.
3 dice, Rusty, for an 11.
All right. Okay, I'm out.
Rusty's out of the battle, and you can take off the Scrimshaw whale tooth and remark it as another color your own. Conrad, people are getting away now.
We're just
How about a
wailing
7
on
you?
each other. Is that what we're doing here?
We're doing what?
We're just wailing on each other. Is that? I'm trying to
We could
understand.
possibly be wailing on each other, but actually, what would happen was we entered a war zone, and it's every man for himself to run away. I think is more what we
So
did.
we're all getting shot at, right?
Yes.
So leave a false sign to misdirect pursuit. Keep all guessing on your chaotic venture. Success and ignore Banes while taking actions on evasion. If currently ignoring Banes, I am not. Treat failure as a vicious wound. Ouch. Regardless, lose accoutrement 03 silk kerchief, which I do not have. Difficulty 12, advantage any swagger O. Swagger O, I don't believe I have that either. Let me confirm that. No, that would be understands desire, which I did not get. So I am a 12, but I am shaken, so I need a 14.
A 14 to pick up understand desire as well.
You're right, but I would ignore, and I'll ignore
Banes.
Ignore Banes while taking actions on evasion. So I am going to roll the ye old make roll.
Okay, so Conrad has used one of his make rolls to make sure that he is ignoring Banes, which will get him out of the battle probably. And he did not lose a kerchief that he didn't have. Laura, are you in the battle still?
Yeah.
How about if I give you a 3?
Make yourself laugh almost uncontrollably at some bit of whimsy you simply won't block from your mind. Success to fully escape. Later, return to combat at ref's discretion, but failing character develops a vulnerability in one of the 5 senses. Random. Again. Regardless, gain instrument. Narcotic analgesic.
Well, she's always getting the stuff that make her drunk or drugged in these games.
Yeah, you got my cross. Hell, man.
Right to your audience.
A repartee of very good, Mike. Well, that very cogent. An 8, Laura. Come on, I've seen you make 8s with 1 die.
8 doable.
She has a whimsy. She's thinking of a song. She can't get out of her head.
You may use another make roll. There's no limitation on them in this
I'm
format.
because that would take me down to 6, and my rolls would get slightly easier.
Yeah, use the make roll. And you pick up, can you pick up repartee? You are and forgive me if I keep forgetting this, are you a lawman?
Yeah, I don't see repartee on there.
A lawman, I actually pulled up another sheet. It would not be repartee for lawman. Repartee, you instead would be diplomatic, and no, you would not pick that up. But if you make the roll, you would certainly be out of battle.
I pick it up.
Because the swaggering are dependent on your tact, and you don't have the right your
Yeah, but
tact
you said
doesn't
it'd
have
be
that swagger.
diplomatic.
Lawmen can be diplomatic, but they don't have repartee.
Right.
Okay, so I don't pick up the P either way.
You won't pick up the P.
And I'll be restless and roll this. Ooh.
2 dice for an 8. 9, she's out of battle. Mike, are you in battle?
Still in battle, and I am shaken.
How about if I give you a justice card first?
How about if you give me a justice card first? Inverted?
No.
Toggle accoutrement 08, which is beeswax. I did not have beeswax, so I now have beeswax from heaven. If the party
beeswax. Go ahead and mark your beeswax.
I did. If the party does not know all the aspects of the demon they face, which senses are going to be insulted, and I don't believe we do, then I become the party scapegoat. So I am now scapegoat.
Greg, you're no longer the scapegoat. It's Mike, because he's playing with beeswax for some reason, and that just seems suspicious. Here comes your actual card, Mike. How about a
one
hermit?
that gave me the writing desk to begin with.
By the way, Laura, you picked up narcotic analgesic.
Yep.
Regardless.
I know.
So you can mark that on the weaponry page, Laura, for us.
Yep, I was copying my token right now.
Got it. Thank you. And hermit for you, Mike.
Hermit, 2 major tarots in a row. Is it inverted?
It is not.
I love major tarots. Toggle accoutrement number 9, pouch peppercorns. I did not have peppercorns. I now have peppercorns.
Beeswax and peppercorns. That would make a terrible spaghetti sauce.
If the party is not in the correct location on the campaign map, the referee should let us know.
You are not in the correct location of the campaign map, so we can
And
rule
for
out these
some
Slavic
reason-
provinces.
And for some reason, this is my fault, and I am still the scapegoat.
You're still the scapegoat, obviously. Yes.
Yes, but next card. Another major tarot. Come on, give me a star.
How about a knave?
How about a knave?
Inverted.
Inverted knave.
Is an nothing is better than an inverted knave except for an inverted
Nothing is
martyr.
worse than the inverted knave. Yes.
I was being sarcastic. Espied by others, lost on what to do next, where to go, how to finish the struggle because a scapegoat knows nothing. Fail the next player to act in evasion tests hysteria. Regardless if your character is the scapegoat, which I am, a random character still in the battle suffers doubt.
Okay, let me roll that die here. 7. I go around the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tony, you now doubt. I don't know who the first person who got doubt was. I think it was Tasha. Tasha doubted somebody and then was eventually convinced it wasn't Billy Bass. It wasn't Greg Squire's character, and it wasn't. But now it's Mike. And Tony, you also doubt Mike.
I doubt Mike. Okay, well that seems reasonable to me.
And we go on to Mike. Did you make your profiteer roll, or you're going to have to be our first guy rolling hysteria?
I have not made my profiteer roll. Here's a question: Party always doubts the scapegoat automatically. It's not that you form doubt towards Greg Squires, and if Greg Squires is no longer the scapegoat,
yes,
doubt automatically shifts.
Yeah, I think I specifically said something about that in the rules, even making a joke of it. If the referee wants to make an elaborate spreadsheet that you can, he doubts him and she doubts him. To me, I'm not that. It's too much trouble. So doubt is just the fact that it's doubt in the party. So Tasha has doubt that this party is anything but a bunch of a lame excuse to be adventuring. Tony has doubt that this is a lame excuse to be adventuring. I may have been fingered by the party to be a scapegoat, but I still have faith in the party. You follow the way I'm presenting it?
Sure.
Okay.
I failed my roll. I did not pick
Mike,
up.
you need to make a roll in this game. Okay, so Mike, you're gonna be our first test of hysteria.
No, it's fail the next player to act in evasion test hysteria. I don't think I'm alone in this battle.
Oh, what a ruthless game. Who wrote this? Okay, so it's going to be Tasha is going to be our first victim testing hysteria.
She's not
But I'm not in the
She's already
battle.
escaped.
I escaped.
It's the next person who hasn't escaped, I suspect.
Fail on next
Great.
player to act in evasion. Gosh, you're right. It's Greg Morrison. Are you back from handling a call?
Not now.
I'll
he's
be
not.
back, Greg.
Oh, very convenient. Oh, okay, so it's me.
Tony, you're the first person that we're going to make test hysteria. All right, so here's the way that works.
That's
I'm
so
not sure if I
sad.
have that table or not. I might as well create a handout for it while
I've got that one up. Tony, how many?
while I'm making tables, and I'm going to share that with everyone. And I'm going to bring it into the game. Boom, and you can see that, Tony, because I just brought in the game for us to all see.
Hysteria test. Okay.
And so you're going to count the number of accoutrements you have and the number of instruments you have.
Okay. Well, I think I have 3 accoutrements.
Oh, it's just an ordinary roll.
I have
Okay, that's
pocket
easy.
watch, brace,
But
and
does
silver
anyone
flask.
want to try to make a command action roll and calm him down? Let's start with Tasha. Tasha, what's your command action ability?
Difficult.
Difficult. Why don't you roll 2 dice and see if you can make it difficult for us? Or you can make roll.
No, I'll just try to make the roll.
Okay.
What is my difficult here? My difficult is a 5. So,
5. And I have how many make rolls do you have?
I had 5, so now I have 4.
You have 5, and now you have 4. 4 make rolls would put you in the category of needing a 10 on that roll, and so 2 dice for 10, please.
Okay. Nope.
Okay, how about if we go over to Greg Squires? Greg Squires, do you have what's your ability in command action?
That would be nearly impossible.
Nearly impossible. Well, it doesn't hurt to try. So why don't you go ahead and roll
Right.
nearly
Well,
impossible
All right.
based on your make rolls.
15. I did it, actually.
Yay!
I have 1 make roll.
Okay. Who needs make rolls in this game? So, Greg, your character is Calm Down Tony's. And Tony, I'm going to flip another card, right? We're going to skip that knave because I think no, you get an actual event.
Event. Okay.
How about a 9 and get you out of battle, sir?
9 of coins. All right. post that. I can. Okay. Here we go. Restore some vigor with a quick nibble, sip, or nap. Success and ignore Banes while taking actions on evasion, but fail and character develops a vulnerability I assume it's supposed to be in one of the 5 senses.
Yes.
Random. Difficulty 13, advantage, instrument, cocaine powder, which I do not have. Instrument 28, yeah, okay. It's a 13, and I am shaken, so it's a 15. Why don't we success? There you go.
Okay, so it actually does get you ignoring Banes now, though, correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
And
and
I'm still
Greg
safe.
Squires, I think, is still in the battle, but ignoring Banes.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
How about if you get the tower card first, though?
Oh,
Towers
okay.
are always good.
Yes. That's
Tower is even better than an inverted knave.
all right. Toggle accoutrement 15. I've picked up a keyed knife apparently. Let me put that on real quick.
And how about the judgment as well?
And okay. Toggle accoutrement. If the selecting player has doubt,
forgive me, the tower was inverted, so we probably should have picked up instrument 35 for you, Greg.
I think he's
He
ignoring inversion.
ignores Banes.
Ah, gosh. Now, this would be interesting. Would he ignore Banes? I guess he would ignore Banes no matter what they are, because the inverted also has negative aspects. So he cannot pick up the magic instrument by ignoring Banes. Just the way the game is. How about
All right.
after the tower, we give you a judgment card, and once again, you're ignoring the Bane.
all right. So keyed knife. If the selecting player has doubt, I do not. He must make a choice. If he lashes out, else he must pray on the matter and exonerate his friend. If he has no doubt, the party lacks scapegoat. He has done something that casts aspersions. The character has become the new scapegoat. Excellent. All right,
Mike,
so-
you're off the hook.
I might be. Greg could make this roll. You never know.
is it a roll? I think this is just the Tower of Destruction, right?
Oh,
Yes, it's just
Yay,
Mike is
scapegoat.
Greg is back being the scapegoat, and the judgment card.
Well,
There's
no,
gonna
the
be
party
top-
doesn't. The party doesn't lack a scapegoat. It says
No,
if he has no doubt or the party lacks a scapegoat. The party currently has a scapegoat, right?
But then right after that, it says if there is no designated scapegoat, the selecting player. Okay, yes. So
I'm still scapegoat.
the character. So, and I also view you as suspect, I guess. Okay.
All right, let's read it really carefully. If the selecting player character has doubt, Greg does not doubt the party. If
No.
Greg doubted the party, he would have stabbed the scapegoat for a vicious wound. Do you follow?
Yes.
So, but you do not have doubt. You are not Tony or Tasha, who, if they had drawn this card, would have put a knife in the back of Mike as the scapegoat.
True.
Okay, and that doesn't sound very paladin-like to me, but then again, Mike might be a demon. So, and then the judgment card, the judgment card that comes next. We are not in the lands of Egypt, so the scapegoat character is not separated from the group. However, you do toggle accoutrement 18.
Great. Okay. So now I picked up a.
You're picking up all sorts of gear as we speak.
I am.
Now he likes to fight with that knotted cord to strangle people. How about a Queen of Swords to get you out of this battle, Greg?
Wait, don't see
Queen
it
of
yet.
Swords.
Queen of Swords.
Not
That's coming.
inverted.
All right. Mere trifle for a man of ability and social promise, which I definitely am. Success to fully escape, later return to combat at rest discretion, but fail and lose swaggering if none suffer vicious. Regardless, gain instrument 37, smelling salts. If this was held by another player in the party, you lose that view, no tradebacks. Difficulty 8, advantage ingenious P. Not ingenious P, but to at least survive this initial encounter, I'm going to make roll that to get out.
Okay, make
So-
rolling out. Ooh, man, that's a lot of dice. And you get out of the battle. Go ahead and on the equipment list, swap out the smelling salts with your. We seem to be stealing a lot within the party. Did I get out of the battle? I didn't think I did, right? Can't remember.
No, you didn't.
No.
How about an Ace of Swords? That's probably going to get me out of the battle. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords says climb or hide, delay to obtain a course of escape or chore. Success to fully escape. Later return at the combat is ref's discretion. Regardless, ignore Banes. That's nice. Instrument 26, cake talc. I don't have any climbing chalk, but I can roll an 8. I haven't failed that many times in my life, an 8. And I'm out of the battle. Rusty, are you in the battle still?
No, I escaped.
Conrad, are you in the battle still?
I'm ignoring Banes, but I am in the battle.
Here you go, Conrad. How about a knight?
A Knigget. That's the 4th best card in the deck.
Um,
Croon a
yeah,
clarion
probably.
call to righteous victory. Success to fully escape. Later return to combat at ref's discretion. Regardless, gain the fury pip. Difficulty 8. Advantage camaraderie. I do not have camaraderie, but I was shaken. I assume I stay shaken.
You are still shaken.
Okay.
But you gain the fury pip. So you're going to cancel your shaken after this, no matter what.
But I need a 10 now to escape.
A 10 to escape.
Make roll. I'm going to roll 2 dice looking for the 10. There it is. I have escaped.
You have
and
escaped.
I picked up camaraderie A.
You pick up camaraderie if you have the ability to pick up camaraderie.
I do. Camaraderie A matches.
And that is terrific. You are camaraderie A. I go over to Laura. Are you still in our battle?
Nope.
And Mike, are you out of the battle?
Nope. I'm shaken. I'm in the battle and I am shaken.
Laura was out of the battle, correct? Because I heard 2 nopes.
Laura's out.
Okay. How about a fool card for you, Mike?
How about a fool card? More Major Tarot. Was it inverted?
It is not. Yes, it is. Forgive me.
It is.
Toggle instrument 40. If this takes narcotic analgesic. If this takes place in the lower 40 singing shanties, which I don't believe it does.
It does not.
Random character receives vicious wound if he lacks. Sorry. Well, we're not in the singing shanties, but I do have beeswax, so nobody would have gotten that wound anyway.
Okay. So, but you have definitely taken the narcotic analgesic from Laura.
Sure.
And so make sure we mark that on our sheet. And how about a knave of coins for you, Mike?
Is it at least not inverted this time?
It is, but you're getting terrible cards.
I am. Hey, someone has to test the crappy cards. Hyperventilate. Calm yourself, man. Fail and test hysteria. Regardless, lose accoutrement 13, silver flask of rum. Aw, I had a silver flask of rum.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, Monty. Advantage. Better valor. I don't have better valor. I can't even gain better valor. I could gain sympathy. Okay, so 2 dice for a 10, or I test hysteria.
That is correct.
I will test hysteria.
All right. Well, we saw the chart. We saw the chart was up just a moment ago, Mike. So once again, we're going back to hysteria. How many? You have 10. So right now, it's a difficult roll for you. To prevent that difficult roll, we have persuasion. I'll start with Tasha. Tasha, would you make a roll for persuasion, please?
I will certainly try.
What is your ability with persuasion?
Persuasion is tasking for me, so.
Tasking, and you're at 4 make-rolls?
I needed a 12. So
you needed a 12, and you got a 13. So you have calmed Mike down 1 step to ordinary. Now we go into the ordinary, and I go to Tony. Gosh, the 2 people that have doubt about this man are the first 2 that have to calm him down. You people are just so great in your jobs.
Well, I have to save him first.
Command before you put the knife in his back. Command action, Tony, for you, please.
A command action. That is
holy knife.
You are a what's your tax, Tony?
I am a what's it called? Profiteer, CBA.
So it's a tasking for you. That's the master. All these calming forces are master skills. So master skill chart.
Okay, gotcha. And no, I cannot calm him down.
And I go over to Greg Squires. You need to make a command action, please.
Okay. What's it called? So persuasion. That's difficult for me.
It actually isn't persuasion because he's already been calmed down with persuasion. And the next step is command action. You need to order him back into battle.
That's impossible for me. So
that's nearly impossible. But I've seen you make it before.
Yeah, well, nearly impossible is only a 12 for me. So let's see, 15 again. So yes, once again.
Once again, you have saved your second person from hysteria. If I could actually be checking ignobles now, I would check ignobles for you. But ignobles check as a group, and I'm not keeping track of them at the moment. But Mike, you have been diverted from your hysteria. And who else is still in the battle besides Mike? Tasha, are you out?
I'm out.
Okay. Greg Morrison is AFK. Tony, did you get away? And Greg Squires.
No, I'm what's it called? I'm shaken still in battle.
How about if you're ignoring Banes, as I remember?
Ignoring Banes though.
How about a 7 for you, Tony, to get out of this battle finally?
And Mike, can you post that? Thank you.
Leave no man behind.
Leave a false sign to misdirect pursuit. Keep all guessing on your choice adventure. Success and ignore Banes while taking actions on evasion. If currently ignoring Banes, treat failure as a vicious wound. Oh, great! Regardless, lose accoutrement 03 silk kerchief. Yeah, I don't have that. Difficulty 12, advantage any swagger O.
Did you?
I believe I have. No, I don't. Dang it, I don't have. Sorry, I've got biting and KO punch.
You can pick it up.
Okay, so on a roll of a 12 minus 2, so 14.
A 14 to avoid the vicious wound and pick up the swaggering O.
I would make roll that.
So yeah, there we go.
Okay, and Greg Squires, are you still in battle?
No, I'm out.
And I am out. And Rusty, you are out. And Conrad,
I'm
are you
out.
still in the... Conrad is out? Mike, did you get out? Or are you still in there? You're still in, right?
Yep.
I'm Conrad is out.
Escape is brutal, but
Here you go,
avoiding
Mike.
sharing is
Mike,
gonna
how about a 6 for you, Mike? Are you at least ignoring Banes?
No. Is it a Bane?
Mike, 6 Bane.
6 Bane?
Yep.
Take heed and give warning or impending harm. Look out, everybody else who's already gone. Fail, and next player, me, to act in evasion suffers vicious. That means me if I react here alone.
Tony is still in the battle.
Oh,
it isn't
fail
you.
after Tony suffers vicious, which means Tony, because I'm not.
That breaks your heart, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's why they
appreciate
doubt
that.
you.
Great.
That's why they doubted you.
Regardless,
I'm
character
gonna
suffers
continue to doubt.
vulnerability to taste. Vulnerable.
Mike is now vulnerable to demons and insult taste. But you need to, you're not tact observer, Mike. You need 2 dice for a 13 or Tony has taken a vicious wound.
Yep. Don't say.
He's debating whether to use a make roll because you doubt him.
I haven't created a make roll yet, so, you know.
If that's what's holding us up creating a make roll, I'm going to smack you through this microphone.
You can smack me through the microphone.
Oh, you bad person. Okay, so Mike has avoided the wound to Tony. Tony, back to you in the battle. A hanged man, inverted.
Oh, great. No, not inverted. Ignoring
That's
Banes.
right, hangman, not inverted.
Oh, that's much better.
Did you back up there, Red? Or sorry, I'm gonna
Toggle accoutrement 11. If this event takes place in Fragrant Harbors, I don't believe it does.
It does
Scapegoat
not.
character is separated from the group and returns while in play. This yada yada yada. If there is no designated scapegoat, no. Okay. So it is accoutrement number 11. Leather gloves. Well, I guess I've picked up leather gloves.
You pick up leather gloves. You need to smack around the scapegoat a little bit. You might as well protect the knuckles. Here comes your next card. How about a 6?
Is it still me?
I know it goes. Yeah, because of the card, the major
Okay.
hero don't count as your action in this game.
Great. 6. Outrun a motivational bullet with your name, since the enemy or others to task seem to have a potent ranged ability. Success to fully escape. Yay. Later return to combat at ref's discretion, but fail and suffer vicious. Difficulty 8, advantage raw speed. Well, I know I don't have raw speed, so I am 2 dice of a 10. Okay, let's see if I take a vicious. I can take a vicious. Does that mean I'm dead, or do it, like Cutlass, I have 1 and I get another one?
You get 2 total, so you're going to continue vicious in the battle vicious, and you do not. It's a walking wound. You do not fall out of battle.
This is an ugly, ugly game.
It is an ugly, ugly game, but there's a lot of ugly, ugly characters that can reappear if your character should die. This is what happened
Are
to.
you
I
shaking, Tony? Is that why you missed that?
I
roll?
am shaken, yes.
Yeah, it
was a good time for a make roll, I suppose.
There's no way to unshake, apparently.
There is no way to unshaken except leaving the battle. Yes, and certain actions that like instruments can do. But I'm going to move on to Mike. Mike, how about if I give you an 8?
Is it a Bane?
No.
Good, because I was starting to think you were confusing me for Rusty. Rusty loves Bane.
Somebody's got to take those
love those
Banes.
Banes.
Rusty's out of battle.
Right. Survive for family. Someone who loves you back in Boston. Laura, not Moradin. Success to fully escape. Later return to combat at rough discretion, but fail and shaken. If I fail, I will be double shaken and test hysteria again. Regardless, gain instrument 38 plus missionary oil, which I already have. Difficulty 8, advantage instrument 27, rude fetish, which I don't have.
A 10 to get out of the battle, Mike.
10 to get out of the battle.
Less than 10, hysteria again.
I think I'll just go to 0 make rolls. But you'll notice that it is not a make roll in this game. It is the will of the Lord.
It is. It is absolutely.
And you picked up
will.
a rude fetish as a result of your will of the Lord.
I don't think so. It doesn't. That's actually just a piece of gear, Conrad. Yeah, it's not a swaggering. And I go
the Lord
over.
did not want you to have the rude fetish.
That is right. That the Lord would not want you to have the rude fetish. I'm over to Tony. You're the last person in battle, so anything that says the next person is what affects you as well. Here comes your 4 of swords, not Bane.
Contort for necessary leverage or perspective or balance in an awkward stance. Success to fully escape. Later to return to battle. The rest of discretion. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But fail and pinned. Oh, this is great. Ignore advantage until success on a future roll. This isn't a Bane, you say? Okay.
No, it's not a Bane.
Okay. Regardless, gain instrument 39. Tincture of mercury. Okay.
I don't make up for that.
I don't know about that. But...
If he survives.
The tincture of mercury, Tony, is a magic heal.
Oh, well, you can get rid of your vicious.
Oh, so I have
Tony, it gets worse. Shaken lasts all the way to the climax.
What? I mean, there's just, oh, God. What a wonderful game this is.
Unless you change that.
If this was held by another person now, okay. Trade difficulty 12, advantage live. I am not live. I don't even think I can get live.
Yeah, it'll last all through travel encounters or last all through the climax when it happens. I got a number of people that are shaken already in the game, so I will also add the caveat. Tony's out of the battle. We'll also add the caveat that when we break for the day and come back the next day, which I'm sure we're going to do, because we're going to probably play one day of travel encounters and then come back next week and play the actual climax map. But I will share that now as we speak.
Oh, I do have live. Sweet.
It's only darkest before the dawn. At least that's what the adage is. So as we move around the map here, I got a couple of people shaken. There is a way of removing shaken. I can't remember what it is. I think there's the different instruments that allow you to take.
Here, I'll post it in the chat because I'm staring at that paragraph in the rule book.
Tony, you want to use the magic item you just got, the accoutrement, to get rid of your vicious.
Good point. Excellent. Thank you.
Use it. It will melt away, and then it will be back in the ethos, ready to be grabbed by somebody else. I think if there's a mystic fury type of thing that would cancel people's shakens, and we are out of the Slavic Europe, a place that we know is not the location of the climax. I'm back to Tasha. Tasha, would you please move someplace else besides Slavic Europe?
Okay. Then,
and that big blank map that appeared, that beta map, you can go all the way over to the side of it and realize that it is Boston Harbor. And as a reasonable clue to the group, if the climax is going to take place in North America, you probably are going to spend time finding that out. Back on the campaign map. Where would you like to go, Tasha?
Let's leave Slavic Europe and visit the lands of Mummery.
Okay, the lands of Mummery it will be, and I will flip a card for the encounter, and I got myself a 4, and I go to my my encounter 4s. And I'm looking. Just a reminder, because I know I have it in my notes. The patron actually mentioned 3 places that had prior attacks. Remember that or not?
No.
Or was it too mumbly?
Guess it was too mumbly.
He talked very fast.
I will post my Pidgin English. And that was the actual introduction. You can peruse that while I find this 4 card for us. And I'm going to go to 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, down to campaign travel, flipping the 4. You know, for a hardened player like Tony in freestyle, we sure did bring him to his knees in just 1 Q&D there. I mean, he was ready to toss it in, I think.
Oh, I get it.
And he's not even a scapegoat. I started with that. Okay, so donkey work. Use evasion. Oh, we love evasion. Each player character must complete his assigned task by obtaining an escape result on an objective marker for success. Think of this as escaping the drudgery. Warning, supernatural vulnerabilities will be created. So we are out of evasion, back into evasion. What is the supernatural drudgery or ship drudgery that we have to do in the lands of mummery, Tony? I'll give it to you. Is the ship all beat up from sailing past ice flows? You know, is it?
Well, we were in Slavic Europe, so as we were into Slavic Europe, you know, you can't trust those Slavs. They actually damaged the ship, so we have to repair it because of those damn Slavs.
It could also be the fact that we accidentally brought a vampire aboard in the cargo.
I would not like that at all. No.
Okay, he's vetoing that.
Tony was thinking that maybe that we needed some trim work, you know, maybe
yes, I think
carpentry.
Just, you know,
I think what Tony was describing.
Coat of paint, I think would solve this problem more than demon snakes. Okay, so we're back to the most ugliest table, as everyone can tell you. Greg Squires, here comes your card. How about the world, Bane?
Do I still ignore Banes or no? This is a different one.
Different table.
Which table?
We're going to do evasion, but when you read a result, you need to interpret it as instead of escaping a battle, you're escaping your drudgery of this painting of the ship.
And what horrible?
So all the good stuff goes away.
Was that?
All the good stuff goes away, but the bad stuff stays with you.
All the good stuff goes away. All the bad stuff is retained. The world Bane, Mike, under Q&D Major Combat. And there it is. Toggle accoutrement 19.
Let me take a look at 19 would be a pocket watch. Oh, I lost my pocket watch.
Okay. And we go on to your actual result. And it's a 10 of swords.
Not a Bane.
Not a Bane.
All right. Race to outdistance and outperform all. Success and ignore Banes while taking action on evasion. But fail and shaken. Double shaken test this area, but okay. I've gotten this before. So basically I'm rolling an 8 to to ignore all Banes, although this time I have bounding. So
3 dice for an 8.
And no, it's 10. If you had shaken before, then you're still shaken, right?
That is
Unless
correct.
You use
yes.
the item before to unshaken yourself.
Yeah,
Yes.
Laura, if you were shaken, you're still shaken. You stay shaken until climax.
And the success to ignore Banes, you're ignoring Bane in this work relief project, and you are painting like like Tom Sawyer would, trying to get us all to join. But we're going to go on to the next person. That would be me, and I'm going to get an ace of coins, but unfortunately it's a Bane. Can I get away on a Bane? Climb or hide. Delay to obtain a course or escape my chores. Success to fully escape. Later return at my discretion. No. Regardless, ignore Banes. That's good. Difficulty 8. Instrument. I still don't have that climbing chalk, but I can roll an 8.
Oh, that's unfortunate, Red. That's the wrong card.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's how about if I call a regroup, a delay till dawn or weather break, success and everyone escapes, not always by choice, from anywhere on these tables, subsequently return to combat. But the ref may put the group back at skirmish. Further, the continuing battle happens as previously activated. No, this is a great one. It is both regardless get a clue point, and if I make a roll of 7, we all escape the battle, right? Well, I will make roll that, and I am at 2 make rolls. And we picked up a clue point. And Tasha, we have a clue point.
What is a clue point?
A clue point is just an abstract that we use to solve mysteries. So what you can do with your clue point is you can ask if the monster insults a certain thing, or instead, the way I'm playing it this time, is you just say, I'm going to spend my clue point either to figure out that the climax is in North America, or you spend your clue point to figure out that the monster insults one of the three senses. So do you want to know more about the monster, or would you like to know that the rest of the game we're going to be playing in North America?
Kind of know that we're going to North America, just on a meta level. So I'm going to go with which senses does the monster?
Yeah. So just pick one of the 5 at random for me, if you would.
Smell.
Smell. Does the monster insult smell? I will go to my notes. As I said, I should know this. And as I look. It does not insult smell. So second guess, I go to Tony. Tony, I still don't have Greg Morrison back, right? Okay. Tony, would you like to make a second guess?
Back. Just get back. Sorry.
That's fine. Take
very
your time getting
convenient,
acclimated
Mr.
again, Greg. You missed
Morrison.
a glorious time trying to paint a ship. Pick a sense, Tony.
Well, I'm going to say sight.
Sight. Well, it does not insult sight, and it does not insult smell. Greg Squires, would you like to pick a sense, please?
We'll go with touch.
Touch. Yes. The creature insults touch. Now, the reason why you would normally want to know these things is because somewhere in the rules, buried deep, are the actual monsters of the game, and a lot of these are taken straight from our friend Where Fools Dare to Tread, updated just for the colonial version. But here is the actual 10 different types of monsters in the game. Hobgoblins, werewolves, dragons, mermaids, and we know through the process of elimination that we're going to have a monster that insults sound, taste, and touch. And
no, does
fighting
not.
Some sort of evil fae.
Does not. Because it's got to be 3, right? Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the original introduction, if you needed additional clues, you could pick up to 3 more clue points if you visit the Arctic Circle, Siberia, the Indus River, to find out about their elephant-headed god. And the third one was, it escapes me, he had a friend in, where is my shot?
So what did we learn here? It insults touch, sound, and what?
It insults touch, but not the other 2 that were guessed. I forget what they were.
Smells a no, right?
Smell was a
It's
no, and sight was a
Sound,
no.
taste, and touch.
And smells a no, which means the remains that are touch, taste, and sound.
Sound.
So
So we know
the
it
one
is,
that
right?
is touch, taste, and sound is at the Fae.
That is correct, Tony.
All right.
So we know what the monster is pretty much as a gimme. I gave that to you, but there are 3 other clues to be found in the fragrant harbors, in the Indus River,
Arctic and Indus.
and in the Arctic Circle. So if you go to any of those 3 places, we could possibly pick up another clue point, and clue points can also be spent like the Heroes 31 game to give you an advantage in any battle you face. So, Tasha, the choice is yours. Do you want to go to continue to try to look for the climax, which, as you said, we meta know is the Forest Primeval, or did you want to travel directly to one of the 3 places where we know we can get a clue point from?
I went up to the Arctic Circle. It was
You went up to the
nearby.
Arctic Circle. Terrific. Now, when you get to the Arctic Circle, the man there shows you a dead hybrid demon frozen in the ice. It could just be a human and tiger that were mauled together. It's inconclusive at best, but he tells you that names seem to be important to the demon realms. Speaking one monster's name will draw its attention. Knowing 2 can cause it to appear. Yet be careful; the creature only proves to be vulnerable by shouting all 3 of his names. So, proved to be invulnerable by shouting all 3 of his name. I probably got a typo in there. Well, it's just the Russian translation that you're having trouble with, obviously. The creature will only be vulnerable by shouting 3 names. So not only do you have to find out that you're fighting a Fae, you have to find out what 3 names it's called by. And the actual card for the event of sailing to the Arctic Circle is a star. And a star result is, I'm going to my encounters. It is inverted. It is not inverted. A star. We're going to toggle instrument 36. Tasha, we have picked up a canine companion. You may claim that for yourself or assign it to somebody else.
I'm going to take the dog.
Okay, write the dog down. A dog protector. And that doesn't end the encounter, unfortunately. An empress.
That'll never be a demon.
Does that remove Shaken, the dog?
I'll check in just a second, Rusty. Do you have your copy of the rules, Rusty? Or...
I have it someplace on my hard drive.
If somebody would look up the K9 on what magic power it has for Rusty, and Rusty will pull up his own set of the rules at his leisure. You also picked up 24, the voodoo doll, and who will you give that to?
I'll give it to Laura.
You give it to Laura. Laura, go ahead and mark that you've picked up the voodoo doll and can use it.
This is divine weaponry.
Instruments, Mike.
Instruments. Looks like the dog. Canine companion. I can post that for you.
No, I'm on that page. Yeah, I see it. What I should look up is the missionary oil and the analgesic, since I've got those. I got a mystic make roll and a mystic heal.
The dog says mystic guidance, by the way.
Oh yeah, what happens is I have actually got I made a couple of changes to this. The mystic make roll I've done away with. It's become something else, Mike. I think it has become the mystic fortune instead, which is slightly different. It just gives multiple rolls in a battle. I thought adding the make roll on top of the make rolls you have is just ridiculous. I also changed, if you note, when you read it in your own book, you don't have to use these in the exact next battle. You can hold on to them and spend them when you like. But essentially, where is this? The rabbit's foot gives a catbird seat, but Conrad used that. The nun's gold cross that I picked up will protect me from demons that insult sight. But we don't have any demons that insult sight, so that's not going to be usable there, but it still could be used for an advantage roll if we need it. The dog, looking down, the dog gives guidance, and reading under the guidance, blesses the character with calmness and insight and allows prediction of the enemy actions, and you can cancel the defensive modifier with that. And the one that eliminates Shaken is Mystic Fury. So we would need to find the tomahawk. I thought we did. I thought Craig had a tomahawk, or did I read that wrong? The Swiss poleaxe, the tomahawk, or the rude fetish are the ones that inspire fury. So if you want to get rid of your Shakens, you're going to need those. All right, back to the game at hand. We picked up the Empress. Laura, please mark your voodoo doll so we don't double have it. The Lover's card. We are just adding and adding and adding to our dilemma here. And the Lover's card is going to give us number 26. Finally, somebody has gotten that cake talc that I constantly try to get with my ace. And we're still flipping cards. 8. Encounter number 8. Isolation. The region no longer welcomes outsiders. Historically, do you blame them? If the region is the location of the climax challenges, it is not. And do we need to move through it ever again? We do not. So next position on the map, Tasha, where do you want to go from the Arctic Circle? The Fragrant Harbors and the River Indus will also give clue points.
I'm going to the Fragrant Harbors just because it makes... Otherwise, I have to sail right to the middle. Thing,
yeah. Or otherwise, yeah, you'd have to roll an encounter for Fragrant Harbors anyway. The locals show you a living Yeti. They point at the snowy tavern on the hillside, similar to the one in that movie that we won't mention for copyright reasons. No, there are no Nazis at this place, at least not for a couple 100 years. Who is the person who goes into the Mystic Tavern first?
I do.
I'll go.
I'm a paladin. I mean, I figure, bang.
Perfect. That's what I was looking for. If the first person to walk in is not a paladin, everyone's going to change tact. So by Tasha walking in as a paladin, it was either paladin or zealot, you have kept the rest of the party from having to man up and choose other things like paladins and zealots. Basically, you walk in and you see this really big guy who has unnaturally full jaw, and he's the guy they're calling the Yeti, but he's completely normal. It's a complete waste of time to visit here. All right, well, where to next? River Indus and I got to put an encounter for this area. 10. Tenble. 10 inverted. It's as above. A choice to gain a clue point as a group, else each player can gain a swaggering of his choice or lock one as glorious. Tasha, do you want a clue point for the group?
I want
That's probably the clue point you're missing. Or did you want a clue point for the group? Is nice. Or everyone can lock or gain a swaggering of their choice.
I think we need to find out these names. So I think a clue point is probably the better way to go.
Okay, I would agree with that. And grab a clue point. And if you wish to spend it now, I will give you one of the names of the demon.
Awesome. We'll spend that point.
Okay. I will have to mumbly peg down here. Here's one. Pretty good one, in fact. I thought it was one. You find out that there is like a deer woman that you're after. And when you go finally to the River Indus, you'll get your last free clue point of the game. And with that clue point, you'll find out that the guy there says that these demons are not demigods. The count of their insults is always 3. Thrice over the senses are insulted by any demon. Depending upon the insult, you have different demons. The monster you seek is not in India. I could pronounce in Hindi or Bengali, Urdu, Punjabi, or hundreds of other dialects I do not speak and would not struggle with to pronounce. There is no name for dear woman to be summoned here. Go hunt elsewhere. And I wish you well in finding the prey and being victorious. Sanji hands one player at random peppercorns accoutrement. Who is that person, Tasha?
How about Rusty?
Rusty, mark the fact that you have picked up accoutrement peppercorns.
Is that a normal one or a accoutrement?
Normal.
Okay.
Number 9.
Oh, number 9. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Captain Ramsey, the gentleman who is piloting your ship, says that he has to stop for provisions and also prepare the ship to go to other places. Since you've been taking him around the world, he didn't realize he was going to have to take you around the world.
Twice.
He says that I'm here and I'll go wherever Professor Hartfelt sends me to go. But if we don't pick up fresh food and water, we're going to all starve. And he also mentions that the food and water board seems to be rotting and spoiling a lot faster than normal.
That's
okay.
Who's the scapegoat? It's probably Mike's fault.
I would agree. I think it is Mike's fault. He's probably a vampire.
Yeah, that's just Mike.
As somebody who has been the scapegoat wrongly, I will come forward and say it's not Mike. You guys need to calm down until I have doubt, and then it can be Mike. All right, so we pretty much have almost all the clues we need to start the climax in the forest primeval. We actually begin that this week, but you probably need to find one more. And we've eliminated, let's say, the Arctic Circle, Slavic Europe, the River Indus, Fragrant Harbors, but we still have doubt on whether it's the other 4 that we haven't gone to yet. So 4 more places you have to visit, Tasha, and then we can go right to the climax and even begin it right in the next 20 or 30 minutes. So where would you like to go to next?
Is it 3 or 4? Because all we left is Heart of Darkness.
Oh, forgive me. You've already gone to the Land of Mummery. It's only 3. So Heart of Darkness, Lower Shanty, Lower 40 singing our wailing shanties, or the Spanish Gold Coast.
Well, we'll skip over to Deepest Darkest.
Okay, the Deepest Darkest Africa. Let me flip a card for encounters there. I got a king. King. I don't like kings. Not sure why I don't like kings. A king is a historic person of the campaign. I think I actually did those recently. Do I have historic people of the campaign? I half remember. Pick a number, Rusty, between 1 and 31.
1 and 31. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Oops, that didn't work. Let's see. Keep going, Rusty. Oh, come on.
just pick
Keep it.
one.
No.
I hate people that roll random when asked to do something.
Okay, I'm going to reverse that. It's 14.
14. Okay, so we run into Johann Sebastian Bach.
In France?
Is that the guy from Skid Row?
Now he's in deepest, darkest Africa, okay? And he will give us a clue if you help him out of a rough situation, and that rough situation is a skirmish. Let's go to a skirmish table. I know Greg.
Sorry, Bach. Sorry,
Greg
Bach.
would like to.
You're a dead man.
I get longbowmen.
We're not gonna let Bach get killed by pygmy warriors in the heart of Africa, or some other stereotype trope that would land me in hot water. Let's start with skirmish. The die is left on me, so Rusty, guess what? That makes you the first person to flip a card for skirmish.
Oh, right.
We should set a target number. It should not be 15, but how about if we set it for a die 4? How about 3?
How about 3? Okay.
All right. So 3, I start with Rusty. Here we go on skirmish tables. How about the temperance card for Rusty?
That's
not
good.
a bane.
Skirmish.
No, it's not a bane. It's probably good.
Let's see. Toggle accoutrement 13. If this event takes place in a Slavic Europe, it's not. Let's see. The scapegoat character is separated from the group and returns only later in play. The selecting player character now views the scapegoat as suspect. Uh-oh, Mike. If there is no designated scapegoat, the selecting player character assumes that role. So I guess that means I doubt Mike.
Correct.
Okay. And do I get another card? Let's see. Accoutrement 13. Let's see. I didn't have that one. Silver flask. Okay.
All right, here comes your card, Rusty. How about an ace of rods?
An ace
Not inverted?
of rods.
Not
What?
inverted.
What?
Nope.
2 cards in a row?
And it's an ace.
Bend and grab a souvenir, some forage or tasty loot. This action seems finé. Success for victory against human minions. The enemy is defeated and dispersed for now.
Whew.
Versus monster, the entire party is forced into pitched melee. Regardless, gain instrument 23 Nun's Gold.
Oh,
Somebody
you took my
already
nun's
has
gold.
that.
That's what I dropped, huh?
Somebody already had that.
Yeah, but
Okay.
now I don't. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let's see.
I dropped my nun's cross and you took it from me. I know who I'm going to, if I have to pick somebody who's suspect. Okay, Rusty, you can pick up Swaggering N and you can win this battle on a roll of a 9. You're not shaken yet, are you?
I am not shaking any Swaggering N. I'll pick up the N because I'm going to do this.
Okay, so Rusty has make rolled and he has knocked us out of the battle in Heart of Darkness. And that eliminates the Heart of Darkness, and we rescued Johann Sebastian Bach. I would think that would check an ignoble, right, Mike? Are you keeping track of the 9 ignobles we need as a party?
I am not keeping track of ignobles, no.
It would either check an ignoble for us or check one for Bach.
Well, considering the fact that probably the man died in the mid 1600s, we probably should be worried that he's still alive at 1705. Tasha, there's only 2 more places you need to move to. Is it the lower 40? Are we going to start singing whaling shanties? Or are we moving to the Spanish Gold Coast?
Well, again, I'm just going with the currents, which take us to the lower 40.
Okay. And the encounter there is a 5, but it is a Bane. And that 5 Bane puts me into campaign travel, and going down to 5 It is incivility. Two crusaders. The world has many religions and many demons. Use Q&D skirmish. We just got off of it to defeat enemies equal to half a D8. We just finished this, didn't we? All right. Well, here comes the ice pirates, I guess, that are coming up on the crew. At target number 3, I left off with Rusty. Conrad, would you like to continue this skirmish with a card flip of 7 of cups, please?
I wouldn't like to finish it with it, but I kind of have no choice, huh? Present a canvas ready profile, including the glinting gold tooth. Success for the tactics pip. Note, tactics ×2 reduces the target number. Optionally, upon success, move to pitched melee, but fail and shaken. Regardless, gain instrument 32, Swiss poleaxe. If this has to help another player, blah, 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 he loses the object. Difficulty 12, advantage charismatic style. I am shaken from a previous fight.
But I believe the poleaxe will instill the fury and eliminate your shaken result.
Regardless, gain. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to roll this. Excuse me. With the shaken, and then I'll have the poleaxe to not have the shaken, right? So I am going to make roll.
Okay. So you're going to pick up the poleaxe to eliminate the shaken.
Yes.
And you also then got the result of success for the tactics pip. So we picked up the tactics pip in the party. And I go on to, and we are not moving to pitch melee because it's going to have all cards on skirmish. Laura, here comes your skirmish card. How about a knight and it's a bane?
Wonderful. Initiate cover fire for an alley. Fail and next player to act suffers vicious. Regardless, move yourself to pitched. Jeopardy.
We don't move to pitched.
Jeopardy fluke facing demon known to insult smell. 658 advantage. Wow, attack lawman. Is this demon known to insult smell?
No, this one does not insult smell.
That is correct. Thank you, Greg.
Well, Mike, I think I can do an 8 on 3 dice. So here's hoping. Woo, barely. I'm in pitched.
And I'm reading the fine print here, and because we are stuck in skirmish and cannot move to pitched, anytime it says you would move to pitched or overwhelm, instead, if you fail, you would treat the result as being pinned. So I go on. Laura has made her roll by being a lawman, and, barely, and she's protected Mike from his own vicious wound. Mike, how about a knave for you?
Another one.
Gosh, you got some bad luck this go round.
Is at least not inverted?
It's not inverted.
React as someone, friend or foe unknown, Laura, crosses in front of you. Fail and shaken. I am already shaken. So I would have to test hysteria. Flare,
Correct.
if your character is trait zealot or lawman, and I am a lawman. A failed roll delivers a vicious wound to another random character in skirmish. Jeopardy fluke facing demon known to insult sight. So I don't think we have any, I don't think we have to worry about that. Difficulty advantage, any swagger D. Red, Blessed Missionary Oil no longer does a make roll. Remind me what that does now?
The Blessed Missionary Oil, if you activate it, I believe you can take 3 rolls instead of 1, or you could activate it before the start of battle and get 2 rolls throughout the whole battle.
Okay. So I should have activated that before we started.
If you wanted to, I'll allow you.
I'm going to activate my Blessed Missionary Oil. So if I activate it before the battle, that's giving everybody a plus 2 rolls for the whole battle, or just me?
Just you.
Just me. So I will take the 2 rolls to try and avoid wounding somebody else. So I have burned that missionary oil, and that's a one-use thing, so I've taken that off my sheet.
It will come back in the game, trust me.
Correct. So I have 2 chances to roll an 11 to try to not wound another player.
That is correct.
There.
Hey,
Nobody's
as
wounded,
long as it's
and
not
I don't
me,
have to
I mean,
test my shaken.
Any swagger D you picked up, Mike, as well.
Well, in my case, it has to be charismatic style because I'm limited by my tact.
That is correct, Mike. And Tasha, here comes your card on skirmish. How about we still have a target number of 3? It is a 3 bane.
3 bane. Proclaim the righteous God stands with us. Well, of course the righteous God stands with us. Why else are we sailing around the world? Fail, and all players of trait of tact pragmatist or profiteer must evade. Jeopardy fluke facing demon siren. Difficulty 7. Advantage instrument. Nun's golden cross. Once again, what does my canine companion, who I have named Bucephalus, do for me?
I believe that it cancels the defensive modifier in one battle.
Okay.
And there is no defensive modifier in this battle.
Nope. All right, so Bucephalus can stay below Dex. All right.
Somebody had the Nun's Cross. I think that's Rusty picked it up, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. I rolled
Tony
a 7.
got it as well.
God does stand with us.
every army in history has thought that God has stood with us.
Yeah, but I'm right.
Yeah, that roll in gray dice has definitely convinced me. So I await your sacred script for my download. We're going to go on to the next person. Greg Morrison, you're with the group, right?
I am.
Greg, how about if I give you a Queen Bane and you can delight in the miserable fun that we're having?
Oh, okay. Let me have it. Inverted Bane. Is that it?
Yep.
That's the queen. Okay. Stand tall and sermonize. Well, okay, that's appropriate for me. Fail and lose swaggering. If none, suffer vicious. Regardless, gain catbird seed. Jeopardy fluke. Facing demon known to insult.
See, normally if we actually were facing the climax demon, we know that demon insults touch, so the Jeopardy fluke would just a random player would take a vicious wound.
Gotcha. Well, fortunately, we aren't facing.
That's
anyway.
correct. Not yet. Are you a paladin?
I am not. I'm a pragmatic.
Okay. So 2 dice for a 7. You're not shaken, right?
I am not shaken. Here we go.
You do not lose the swaggering. I go on to Tony. Tony, here comes your card. How about a 10?
How about a 10? Great.
Not a Bane?
Not a Bane.
Doesn't look like it. Squint and spot the vulnerability among the howling haze. Success in the tactics pip.
I think we already had a tactics pip this go around, didn't we, or not?
Yes.
Tactics pip times 2.
Yeah, we haven't been
If
adding it, but go ahead.
If we gain a tactics pip, a second tactics pip can either cancel the death mod, the entire party can escape battle, or we can lower the target number by 1.
It says, no, tactics time 2 reduces the target number.
Yeah. Optionally, upon success, move to pitch melee. Regardless, lose accoutrement, garish hat, which I don't have. Set of flame by gunpowder. Action, fluke instrument. Action, fluke instrument, tincture, mercury, reduces target number.
Does anyone have the tincture of mercury?
Not anymore. I use that to heal myself.
Okay, then we would not lower the target number. See if you can pick up concentration. If it is not one you can pick up, then you will not pick it up.
And it is a B, so I don't have B, and we're looking at a 9, huh?
2 dice.
And when I fail, what's gonna happen to me?
Nothing.
Okay, well I'll just roll then. So, and I'll just fail.
You'll just fail outright.
11,
how about if we go to
shaken.
Greg Squires for the skirmish?
Before you flip a card for Greg Squires, I'm going to raise a point of order. This particular table says success for tactics pip. Note tactics pip times 2 reduces target number. However, the rule book on page what page is that? That's page 27. Says tactics pip. Second roll of tactics pip. It's in the chat. May cancel death mod, may allow entire party to escape, or lower target number of enemies for total victory. So you've got
okay.
Yeah.
No, that'll work. And if the other thing is confusing, I can delete the tactics pip time 2 and let people look it up. That's mostly to keep the questions to me. What does tactics pip time 2 do again? All right, so we're going on to Greg Squires. Here's a king.
Normal or inverted?
King, straight up, Mike.
That sounds good. Hey, command and inspire. Success and remove defense modifier. If already 0, reduce target number. Optionally, upon success, move to pitched melee. Regardless, lose accoutrement 6 whip, which I do not have. Served by a mocking. I don't have the rest of it. Served.
Sharpshooter or hex. Difficulty 9, advantage steely nerves.
Okay.
This is skirmish? Yeah, okay.
Skirmish king, yes. I do not have steely nerves. I just need to roll a difficulty 9. Says I. And no, I missed.
2 dice for a 9 to success remove the and to lower the target number. We did not lower the target number, and it comes over to me. How about if I give myself a card? I've been getting a lot of aces. A knave. React as someone, friend or foe, crosses in front of you. Fail and shaken. Flare. If the character is a zealot or lawman, I am a zealot. I will fire blindly right at anyone in order to kill this demon. Fail roll delivers a vicious wound to another random character in skirmish. Jeopardy fluke versus sight, but we're not facing someone in sight. We're not facing a demon. Any swagger D. I do not have my flamboyant moves yet. If I roll a 9, I pick it up. If I miss, somebody's going to take a vicious. I picked up flamboyant moves. And the result of that was, nope, just to avoid the shaken. I was hoping I reduced the target number as well, but not so lucky. And we go into Rusty. Rusty, here comes your card. How about a magician? Inverted.
And it's a Bane, thank God. Let's see. Toggle instrument 21. If this event takes place in Heart of Darkness, Africa, a random character receives a vicious wound. If he lacks accoutrement, 06 whip, herd, stampede.
We are not in the Heart of Darkness, so...
Okay,
but you do toggle instrument 21.
So I have mint gum.
You have mint gum. You picked up mint gum singing songs. It's hard to sing a song with gum, but go ahead, and here comes your card, Rusty, for skirmish. How about if we get a 2 of swords fighting the Ice Pirates?
Of swords. Okay, and it's another Bane. Great. Okay. Disguise your abject terror as mere fluster. Fail and test hysteria. Oh boy. Flare. Any pragmatist or profiteer still in skirmish.
I'm not reading that one the same, guys. Is that a skirmish too, Mike?
I thought so. I might have goofed. Let me see. Skirmish.
There's skirmish in there right now.
Inverted, correct?
Okay.
I got it up.
I think I must have just
cut you way out of the metaphoric box you find yourself trapped in, or are the constraints a damnable spell. Fail and pinned. Pinned? Ignore advantage until success on a future roll is obtained. Jeopardy, fluke, facing demon fae.
Yeah, we are facing demon fae, but not here.
And difficulty 13, advantage, accoutrement, trusty rapier. And I do not have a trusty rapier. Okay, so I'm looking for a 13, otherwise I'm pinned. That's sad. But
was there a reason you didn't want to take a trusty rapier?
I just didn't want to have everything.
You just didn't want to have everything. You're worried that someone's going to take it from you and kill you with your own knife, huh?
Well, it's just not, what I thought would be very advantageous.
Well, you are pinned. I go
Very
on
sad.
to Conrad. Here comes your card. How about an 8 Bane, Conrad?
Under skirmish, correct?
Correct.
The fourth worst card in the deck. Belay the foul host. Keep them from closing ranks and intermingling among your expert shooters. Fail and suffer vicious. Regardless, gain the Fury Pip. Jeopardy, fluke facing demon ghost. Difficulty 10, advantage, accoutrement 6, whip. I do not have the whip. We already do have the tactics pip, correct?
I think we have the tactics pip for this, yes.
Yeah, so
So second tactics pip would be good.
Fail, keep anyone's fail and suffer vicious. Jeopardy facing fluke. Difficulty 10, advantage accoutrement 6, whip. I do not have whip, so it would be an 8, or I would suffer the second vicious, which would kill me. So I'm going to use the old make roll. So that's the double tactics pip.
Double tactics pip. So we got a target number of gone to 2. All right, I go over to Laura. Laura, here comes your card. How about a 3?
Sorry, 3 skirmish, not a bane.
Okay. Arm yourself with the discarded weapons in the battlefield. Success trade a Fury Pip or grant Fury to someone else. Optionally, upon success, move to pitch melee. Even though I can't. Again, but fail unshaken. Regardless, gain Instrument 35 Savage Tomahawk. If this was held by another person in the party, it is the object to you. No trade backs. Action Fluke Instrument 29. Parcel from Salem reduces target number. Difficulty 9, advantage any swagger R. You said 2 swaggers. Let me see. Either R's. I didn't write that one down with the rest. R for me would be Wolfo. No, I do not have that. So.
Are you shaken, Laura?
I am not shaken.
Okay.
Huh. 2 dice for 9 makes me nervous. I'm going to use a make roll, and that'll take me down to 6 and make my roll slightly easier.
You also pick up the Fury Pip. You also picked up the Savage Tomahawk. You should mark that on the sheet.
And any swagger R. So
any swagger R, and you pick up your swagger R. I go over to Mike.
Hang on, I optionally I can grant the Fury Pip to someone else. Who is shaken, Mike?
I am shaken.
Mike, Laura, you cannot grant the Fury Pip to someone else if you don't have the Fury yourself. But
it says
now,
on success I can gain the Fury Pip or grant it to someone else.
Yeah, it means that if you get the Fury Pip twice, you would grant it to somebody else.
Yeah, if you can give it to somebody on your second one.
Okay. Well,
yeah. That's another thing where maybe I'll clear up, but I'm thinking now that maybe Laura's right. Maybe the Fury Pip would be something where you inspire somebody else who's shaken back into the fold. So I will debate that in the rules. Mike, here comes your card. How about a king? Bane.
How about a king? Oh, Bane. Have I gotten a non-Bane today? I don't believe I have. By the numbers, ready, aim, fire with discharge flash next to an ally's ear. Fail, and next player to act becomes shaken. Regardless, reduce target number by 1. Jeopardy Fluke facing demon known to insult taste. It's not taste, this one, right?
This one is. It's touch, taste, and sound.
Okay, so Jeopardy Fluke facing demon known to insult taste. Do we resolve that before my die roll?
No, we don't, but we're not actually fighting a demon, Mike.
Right. Okay. In that case, difficulty 7, advantage trait pragmatist. I am shaken. That means I need a 9, but I used my mystic thing, so I am rolling twice. And I am a pragmatist, so I roll 3 dice for a 9.
That is all true.
So next player is not shaken.
Next player is not shaken. Tasha, here comes your card. How about if we give you Wheel of Fortune? All right, we shuffle. And here comes your first card. How about a 6?
Fortune.
6 Bane.
6 Bane.
Volley fire to maximize effect despite slow reload and limited range. Fail, and next player to act loses all remaining make rolls. If he has none to lose, the entire party will lose all make rolls. If no make rolls remain in the group, failure here means your death. Jeopardy Fluke facing demon werewolf, not difficulty 11. Advantage accoutrement blunderbuss. I do have a blunderbuss.
You're rolling 3 dice for an 11 to keep your make rolls.
Let's do it.
Or I should say, yeah, for the next player to keep his make rolls.
What did I roll? I can't even see my roll.
I didn't see it either. Did it?
Try it again.
That is an interesting thing.
Did you whisper?
No, it's still. Am I whispering? No, I'm not whispering.
No,
It's still
weird. No roll on this side either.
Maybe there's no dice. Maybe
It
there's
just
no
says
dice
your
in my.
name.
There's no dice in my actual roll. Hold on.
Parts pieces. That's all.
Hold on. Let me come back here. Bang. We'll just do this real fast. Bang, bang. Save and. Hey, look at that! I made it.
Okay, you made it. So with your 3 dice, so Greg Morrison does not lose all his make rolls.
Oh,
I go over to Greg. Greg, here comes your 6.
6. Not inverted?
Not inverted.
Okay. Incidentally, guys, I've just emailed everybody my current draft character sheet. Although when I moved it to Epic Table, something shifted and moved out of where I had it.
Fire and slash. Success for the tactics tip. Note, tactics X2 reduces target number. Optionally, upon success, move to pitched melee. Regardless, gain instrument 24 voodoo doll. If this was held by another person in the party, he would be the object used. No trade backs. Action.
You take it from me.
Now, somebody had the narcotic analgesic, right?
I have the narcotic analgesic. Take
Okay, the target number just went to 1.
Okay. Advantage Killer Instinct N. I do not have that. I have Understand Desires or Understand Something or Others and Stealing Nerves. Okay. So I need to roll a what now?
9.
On 2 dice. Or do I get 3 dice because somebody had the analgesic? Reduce the target.
No, the analgesic
I
just
had it
knocked
marked
off
too.
one of the
I
target
have
numbers.
lost track.
Okay, advantage Killer Instinct I don't have, so 2 dice of an 9.
I don't know. I may have lost track. I had the
This-
analgesic when I got it.
It's there is a tactics pip available as well, Greg. So you only need an 8.
I'll take that tactics pip and get the 8. Is this worth make rolling?
Well, in the battle, how many make rolls do you have?
7.
7?
Yes.
How many rolls
Yeah.
have you made in the game? I don't think you made 7 rolls in the game. So, all right. The battle is over. You do
It
not pick
also
up.
makes it easier for you to roll other
Yes,
things.
which is why
It
which is
does.
why
It
I
makes it
asked.
easier to keep people from being hysterical at the moment.
Yeah.
You do not pick up Killer Instinct because that is not one of the swaggering that you can pick up, and that ends the lower 40. And it is 8:48. We'll complete the Spanish Gold Coast and then head to Forest Primeval. And the flip of that will be a 7. I will go over to my encounter table for a 7. And I'm picking up an official tribunal. The royal courts, warlords, aristocratic ruling bodies, and the chaste inquest of churchmen. Most are sympathetic but cheapskate. We're going to use Q&D Day of Rest to elicit help and a clue point. The group takes events looking to generate a 2d8 successful actions. Each player may just make one attempt for his event here, yet get 1 round. You get 1 round for the entire party. This tally will hold. A small group or in a very unlucky group, could gain the clue point the next time this result is generated. But 2d8, we need to generate a total of 5, which is within our wheelhouse. If we generate 5 successful results on Q&D Day of Rest, we have successfully picked up another clue point. That would give us 2 in the coffers. I'm going up to that table. It's in the. It's also in our. And I will start with Tony, who was the first person I left off. Tony on Day of Rest. Your card is a king.
Day of Rest. Let's hope it's something easy.
Day of Rest,
Folks,
King.
Day of
Say,
Rest, King. Yeah,
Day of Rest King.
got you coming here.
thank you. Wink, slather your briefing with charm. Success and ignore shaken and hysteria this battle. Difficulty 5, advantage man's man. Well, I do not have man's man. So question here says ignore shaken. Does that mean I would be
It would not. It would not restore you. The result is more if we used a clue point to get like a planning phase before we enter the main battle. But for here, all I'm interested in is the event and the difficulty and advantage to see if you complete one of the 5 we need to get a clue point, Tony, if you follow.
I see. Okay, well, let's see here. Let's see if I can roll a 7. I don't think I can. Hey, I did. And I
Tony
picked
is
up man's
definitely
man.
definitely the man's man. Is that one of the ones you pick up, or what is your?
It is. As a profiteer, yes. It
Profiteer, man's man. I go over to Greg Squires. Here comes your card. We need 4 more successes, Greg. 5 Bane.
Still on skirmish, right?
No, on Day of Rest.
Oh,
Day of Rest.
Day of Rest, 5 Bane. Conrad beat me to it, of course.
Yeah.
But I'll paste it.
Thank you for getting that twice. Okay, comfort all breaking bread and dishing hot chow. Fail and next player to test hysteria, regardless, gain a random instrument. difficulty 5, advantage accoutrement 9, pouch of peppercorns. I do not have a pouch of peppercorns, but I could roll a 9. 8.
What sort of self-respecting pirate of the 1700s doesn't have a pouch of peppercoins? All right, that's another success. We need 3 more. I go over to my own character, and I'm going to flip a card. The Fool. What does the Fool give me?
That was not a success. That was
fail.
Oh, sorry.
Fail.
That was,
yeah, that was fail. Fail in next player attack tests hysteria, and I gain a random instrument.
Yes.
difficulty 5, though, right?
Difficulty 5. You
Okay,
succeeded.
Yes, I did make it. I was looking at the accoutrement 09, and I was thinking a 9 target. Okay, got it. Succeeded.
Toggle a random accoutrement. Let's give Greg a random accoutrement. How about if we give, not accoutrement, a random instrument? Greg, you pick up 40. So 40. Mark, you took the narcotic analgesic, which tends to be making the rounds around the party. You guys need to lay off the opium pipe.
It gets rid of a wound, though, right?
Well, it can.
You got to use it, right?
Yeah.
Or at least you don't care if you have the rules.
And most of those in the beta 1 version of the rules, a lot of the stuff only lasts 1 battle, Conrad. But I changed that in my beta 2 version that I'm actually having open in front of me. So if you're reading that as usable in 1 battle, it's actually hold on to it and use it when you need it. Right. I am actually toggling. No, I'm not. I'm toggling accoutrement 20. I had taken a purse of coins from our patron, and now I have spent it or thrown it overboard, regretting my theft. Here comes my actual result. It's a 3 of rods under plans. I will. A dine like this will be my last meal. It's a way to calm my nerves. A fail in the character develops a vulnerability facing demons that insult taste. If that already he is slain, technically he runs off never to return. It is a difficulty of 5, and it's the parcel from Salem, which I don't have. A 5 on 2 dice, or I possibly am become vulnerable. No, but I also make another success, and that brings us down to only 2. Rusty, here comes your card. How about the Hermit card for you, Rusty?
Hermit card.
And it's a Bane.
It is a Bane.
Toggle instrument 29. If this event takes place in Voodoo Caribbean, a random character receives a vicious wound. If he lacks accoutrement 02, rose-colored spectacle, blurred vision. Okay, well, so I toggle 29.
You have picked up the parcel of tea from Salem. And here comes your actual card. It is a Knight of Swords Bane.
Let's see here. Sermonize, speak of the damnation, and recite Dante's visions of the hell. Fail, and the next player to act selects evasion.
Regardless, we don't worry about that, Rusty.
Okay. Regardless, reduce target number by 1.
We don't worry about that either.
7. Advantage pure of thoughts.
So sermonize and try to get a success to reduce our overall number of tally from 2 to 1.
I succeeded, and do I get pure of thought? Let's see.
If you can get pure of thought.
Let's see. Oh, nope. Understand desire is my
pure of thoughts is a zealot trait. And Conrad, only one left. Here you go, Conrad. How about an Ace of Cups?
Ace of Cups is always good. It is inverted, unfortunately.
It is inverted, yes.
Establish a command structure. Who issues the order? Who represents the body? Even who talks when and under what circumstances? To gold. Success for the tactics pip. Regardless, everyone toggle 1 accoutrement. Difficulty 5. Advantage any swaggering. P as in Paul. I do not have ingenious. P as in Paul. Looking for the 5. Do we have the tactics pip? I thought we did. Am I incorrect in this?
No, not in this one.
Looking for the 5. There it is.
5. You picked it up anyway, and everyone should toggle 1. Is it random? It just says everyone toggle 1 accoutrement. So everyone should add 1 accoutrement. I will pick up beeswax.
I have learned the value of a pouch of peppercorns.
Terrific. And when we start this, we're going to continue around the table because this table actually is a reoccurring table. The next time we need to face tribunals, we're at 7. So let's go through Laura, Mike, Tasha, and Greg and see if we can reduce that down to a 3 before we face our next tribunal. So Laura, here comes your card. How about a queen?
Not a bane.
Not a bane.
Pre-plan your planning, scout ahead, or listen covertly at the enemy campfire or hearth. Success and set the enemy defensive modifier to 0 for these.
No, that's not important. And all you're doing is looking for success or failure the way we're playing the table at this moment.
I'm not profiteer, so difficulty 5, advantage seeing eye, which I do not have. So let's see if I can make 5 and 2 dice. I can.
And a 7, so now our 7 has become a 6. Mike, here comes your event. How about an 8?
8.
Not a bane.
Not a bane.
List your accreditation, past employer, service records, ranks, education, if it sounds legit, lineage, etc. Success for tactics pick, regardless, gain random instrument. Difficulty 5, advantage, noble allegiance L. I don't believe I have noble allegiance L. I don't have noble allegiance L, but I can gain it. So not if I roll like that, but
4. Boy, you really have had the bad dice this go round. But Mike, you picked up randomly 33, which is the Spaniard's helm.
I'll take the Spanish helm.
Okay, and we will go on to Tasha. Tasha, your card is a chariot. Should give you something inverted, an instrument.
Let's see. If this event takes place in River Indus, it does not. Random character receives vicious wound. It lacks purse coins. So yeah. I read the
Oh, okay. I see. Yes. No. We're going on to instrument number 27. Toggles. Tasha, you've picked up the rude fetish.
Yes, I was wondering rude fetish.
You can mark that. And here comes your actual event. It is a king. Under planning. You are winking like Tony.
Wink, slather your briefing with charm. Success and ignore shaken and hysteria's battle. Difficulty 5, advantage man's man. I do not have that advantage. So let's see if I can make it 5 and 2 dice. And I do.
You easily do. So that's going to reduce our number from 6 to 5. I do not know if you can pick up man's man as a paladin. I believe paladin
retainers or
paladin L is elite goals. It is not man's man. And we're going to go on to Greg Morrison with the last roll of the day, and you got yourself a 5 bane.
5 bane. Okay.
I believe the last roll of the day is make or die, Greg, as the rules are written. No, I'm teasing. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So is this it? Comfort all, breaking bread, and dishing hot chow.
It most certainly is.
Next player to act tests hysteria, regardless. Gain a random instrument.
37. You have taken the smelling salts away from whoever had it, Greg.
I do not have pouch peppercorns, so difficulty 5. 2 dice.
2 dice for 5 to bring our magic number from 5 to 4 next time we play. And Greg and Mike, I think you should share the role of scapegoat with how bad your rolls have been of late. But change the marker on smelling salts to your own marker, please.
I'm sorry. Pick up what?
Smelling
salts and his instrument.
It's 37.
Thank you.
Somebody should do the same for Voodoo Doll. I'm took it from me. But.
Oh, I took Voodoo Doll, right?
You took smelling salts, right?
I took smelling salts. Who took Voodoo Doll?
Yeah, somebody got that earlier. I want to say it might have been Squires.
Oh, good.
What, smelling salts? Yes, I did have smelling salts. So somebody took that now?
Yes.
Yeah, Greg Morrison has it now.
I will it's up here.
Okay, and that's it for the evening. There's some things that I'm going to probably put together and send out in the rules, so you can take that copy you have now and you can put it right in the trash, so that when you get a new set, you don't confuse yourself. We'll be coming back next week. If you go over to the beta map, I shared that with all of you, correct?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so you're going to be taking a bateau, a canoe, a flatboat up the Mississippi River from New Orleans in order to find the deer woman, who is the climax demon of this adventure. And we're going to start that next week.